I really can't stay.
Just let me show you this real quick.
I gotta go away.
Take a look at this fucking prick.
Episode 582.
To be polite.
I know I could take him in a fight.
Are you a boner guy?
Oh, I was a boner guy.
You know what? I miss penis.
What are you talking about?
I'm the one who should apologize.
Is it going to be absolutely riveting? Is it going to change your life by any stretch? Probably not, but it's going to be at least entertaining, okay?
By the way, for those people that are in the back, remember to shut the fuck up.
Mental illness can literally drive you crazy.
W-A-T-P. I've been dying to say that.
Cuz-a-roo.
Slapperoonie.
It's showtime.
WATP. Hello, everyone. It's Cultures. Merry Christmas and welcome to another episode of Who Are These Podcasts, the only show in the Dabbleverse that doesn't pretend to sleep with girls. I'm your host, Carl. With me today from Paid by Client Season 3, available on YouTube in January, it's Adam Bush. What's up, Adam?
I'm so happy to be here. It's been such an exciting day.
It has been a fantastic day in the Dabbleverse. Also with us from the Blackcast and Who Are These Broadcasters, Christian Blatt is here.
Ahoy, ahoy.
Ahoy, ahoy to you. And producer Chris.
Merry Christmas.
Is along as well. Merry Christmas, everyone. Thanks for tuning into the special episode of Who Are These Podcasts, number 582. How special can you get? Please go to whoarethese.com. Get our email address, voicemail number, link to our subreddit, link to our Discord server, link to our merchandise, link to our YouTube channel, and that link to Patreon and Supercast, featuring 2 exclusive bonus episodes every single month. I did a crossover with Blind Mike earlier this month, and I'm happy to report that on New Year's Eve, we'll be doing another bonus show, Living in the Past.
Can't wait.
With Stuttering John. So that'll be live for everyone who's behind the paywall, either on YouTube or Patreon on New Year's Eve, and we'll put out the audio as well, because a lot of people, it's been a while since we talked about this, but the way the Patreon works is you sign up for it, they give you your own RSS feed, you put that into your podcast player, and then all of our bonus shows, I post the mini-sodes that I do over on the Drew Lane Show, whenever I'm hosting Point Dabble Point or This Little Piggy, all that stuff ends up on that feed. So you get all that bonus content. That
if it was any other show, it'd be too much.
It would be too much, but with us, it's never enough. It's never enough, WATP. So sign up on patreon.com/Who Are These Podcasts, and you can gift memberships. It's that time of year. Send the gift that is Laughing at Jerks. When you go to patreon.com/Who Are These Podcasts/gift, you can then gift the membership for a year, for a month, whatever you want to do, however generous you're feeling. Also, we encourage our listeners, give us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts and then shit all over us in the comment section. Today, we'll be reviewing Saul Show, or Rob Saul Show, depending on where he wrote it. We have all listened separately. We've not discussed it with each other beforehand. Let's get into it. A show hosted by Rob Saul. Let me read the description of the show, according to YouTube. Join legendary podcaster and Dabbleverse villain Rob Saul as he chats with celebrities, comedians, musicians, and newsmakers. Script async src equals https://page add to googlesyndication.com/page ad/js/ads by Google.
That old chestnut.
JS !client equals ca-pub-84929413059433643 close quote. Cross origin equals anonymous. End script. I think he fucked that up. I don't think it's supposed to be in the description on YouTube. He's trying to sell
He could have just
ads.
added special skills coding instead of just showing us how well he can.
Right. I'm not sure why that's in there, but Rob's an idiot. And I think we're going to demonstrate that today. Of course, I am cheating a little bit because for the most part, this is Rob's show with Stuttering John. And they're both hammered. It's December 18th. Now, this is a Wednesday night. John has to get up early, take a flight from Fort Myers to New York, and he's getting wasted with his buddies the night before, getting into that Christmas spirit. Of course, 24 hours after what we're about to see, he'll be at a strip club with Kate Meany. And there was a show that he was on today, John's show, with Vince, and I do want to look at that. I didn't pull clips, but I just have the link. I just thought we could watch it. We were doing a little bit of that on Point Dabble Point today, and it's fascinating what Vince was able to get out of John as far as him staying at Kate's house.
I could do it all day.
I know. That's what I was thinking too. When we ended Point Devil Point, we just ended because of time restraints. Yeah. We just kept watching that. So we'll just start it back up again on here. But first, we got to talk about Rob Saul and John. And the first clip I have, John never knows anything about his friends. It's weird. Whenever he asks them questions and they answer, he's not listening. We've seen this time and time again with Clay Dabbler. He doesn't know anything about the guy. Clay will be like, I told you before, John, blah, blah, blah. And John never knows. And here's an example of John with Rob Saul not knowing anything.
All right, well, Rob, you're Catholic, right?
No, Baptist.
All right, well, that's the church my mom goes to now. So
Yeah.
I think it's time, since Blind Malik was so kind to give me $2, you know, and he wished me a Merry Christmas, and he also wished that my plane goes down. So I think it's time to sing something cheerful.
All right. Let's do it.
So this is fun because what we're watching, if you're not watching the show, I'll just explain to you what we're seeing. So you have John and Rob are next to each other in vertical views. And then next to that is Rob horizontally, who's the same Rob as the other Rob. But this is the only way he can get his audio to work on both channels because they're simulcasting this on John's channel and on Rob's channel. Later, John leaves and it's just on Rob's channel. But it's a little bit awkward looking, and it gets even goofier when John has to bring up this video clip that he's all proud of for some reason.
Stuttering.
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny nose.
Like a light bulb.
I can't explain how embarrassing this is because what happened was John sang this song with his buddy Hitman Dan when they were down in Florida last year, around the holidays. And then someone grabbed this and put music to it and turned it into this video. It was embarrassing when it happened. It's even more embarrassing now. And John is dancing and clapping along with that because a drunk John is most entertained by watching himself. John loves John. He can't get enough of it.
It's also sorry. It's worth pointing out that Rob Saul jumps in with the like a light bulb, except the like a light bulb actually comes after you would even say it glows. So you'll notice.
Good point. We back that up because Rob's watched this a million times too, but he doesn't remember it as well.
So just wait till when he gets to the part where he's supposed to say like a light bulb. Yeah.
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny nose.
Like a light bulb.
If you ever saw it, you would even say it glows.
Yeah.
Also, that's my buddy Hitman Dan. You still have to call him name.
I like that John goes, introducing my buddy Hitman Dan. And we all know who your buddy Hitman Dan is. So we start off, they're festive, they're feeling good, they're enjoying themselves. John watches this entire video and continues to be endlessly entertained by himself.
And then the reindeers loved him, and he got out quickly.
Close.
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer, he'll go down in history. All right, thank you. Beautiful.
Shuli, the red-nosed Shuli.
Well, Blind Malik asked me for a little Christmas thing, you know.
He's so smitten with himself.
What do you guys think that if you were able to, do a breathalyzer test on this John and the John in the video, what number do you think? We're going to combine the numbers. What number do you think that would possibly be? How drunk are these two Johns?
You want to combine the two, or you want to compare the two.
No, I want to combine them. I want to know if that's a triple digit, or I don't even know if that's possible.
Okay,
I think whatever number that is, it would definitely kill a mid-sized horse.
This is probably counter to what you're thinking would be. I think that John is on Klonopin and mixing that with alcohol. I think he's 4 light beers in, and this is how he acts.
And Dan's there, so there might be something else going on.
Well, there might be something else going on. He's probably taking an edible as well. Because John gets wasted immediately. We watched him on these streams when he used to do beer on the balcony on Saturday afternoons. We would watch him drink 4 beers, and 3 beers in, he's slurring his speech, and he's like, got the I love yous. He's all excited that his guest is there. We should do this every Saturday. You're like the best guest we've ever had on the show.
It's just before the tears start falling.
I missed that show so much. I was thinking back about when he had the writer from The Tonight Show who only had the job for 1 year.
Oh, right. And everything was hilarious to John.
Yeah. Oh, then what, they let you go? He's doing the stupid clap thing. And it's got to be so frustrating to a guy who's endlessly more entertaining and talented than John. And John kept his job, and only because Jay didn't want to give Howard Stern the satisfaction. That's why John stuck around. Also, there was that post, we read about it on Point Table Point not long ago, where one of the people who worked for the Tonight Show came out and said, we all liked John. He was endearing, and we just enjoyed him being around. He was kind of like a clownish kind of guy at the office that didn't cause any harm. He didn't provide any value.
Right.
But it was just a guy that was just like, oh, John's here. That's cool.
It's John being John.
Yeah, it's just John being, John thinks he's running his own show. That's neat. You know?
And it shows by how they gave him the warm-up gig. Because, I mean, even... was it Joey Cola that was the warm-up guy?
Yep.
Explains that is not often a job done in-house. Usually the people that are working on the show are busy working on the show. What the audience does during commercial breaks is really not of consequence to the show as long as they're in a good mood. And they tend to hire like people that do that gig specifically. And they're more like DJs or like party MCs, you know, that keep everyone active. The fact that they gave him that job, I know it was different. There were strikes and things happening at the time. Who knows what the actual deal was? But that's the job you give the house mascot. That's the job you give the intern who's really funny, you know?
Yeah, I would be insulted if I'm the announcer and, you know, then a writer and I'm doing all this stuff. And they're like, oh, so can you just like get up 15 minutes before the show and get people rocking and rolling? You're like,
yeah,
well,
no, I'd be busy working on the show with the writers, and the writers would be like, we need him.
I'm in the writers' room. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to do that part of it. Could you imagine?
Adam Bush, what if I told you that to warm up a talk show and the time that John did it, you would get $2,500 per show? Does that change your plan at all? Because I'm sure it changed John's.
Oh, good point.
Oh, absolutely. It's a wonderful gig and steady work, and one that anybody would take. But it's not what you would give a writer you want focusing on the next funny thing Jay is going to say.
Great point.
All right, so they're getting super chats. Both shows are getting super chats, so it's a lot of super chats going on. A lot of $2 and $1.99 super chats are going on. And this one fools John at first. He's not really sure because he can't read ahead for whatever reason, so he's not really sure where this is going.
John's intimidating dumpy runt member 2 months.
By the way, the name is John the Unintimidating Dumpy Runt. It's the name of this. And John's like, I'm not sure if this guy likes me or not. So let's see where this is going.
Hey, no, he's a good guy so far. Big fan of yours in Stern days back when you said N-word. There. So now it becomes stupid. I knew it was going to end that way.
Yeah, what was your first hint? So we read what he kind of trailed off there. Hey, SJ, big fan of yours in Stern days back when you said N-word. I'm a non-binary, wienerless woman, and I find it offensive when you say pussy boy.
He trailed off at the wrong part there.
I know. It got better. He's geez, I knew it. Damn it.
He still doesn't know why. He knows it's something said not good. He knows the words in there don't feel right, but he doesn't understand if you actually read it. They're saying, hey, I'm a fan. Here's this bit you used to do. And by the way, I'm in touch with this community, and here's how I feel about it. Like, that's what they're saying. He knows it's not good. He just doesn't grasp why. And that's an ongoing theme.
Right. John doesn't want to acknowledge that pussy boy would be offensive especially to one of his offspring. And for whatever reason, if I were John, I'd be like, oh shit, I shouldn't be doing that. And I would just retire it, never mention it again. But it's in his vernacular, and it's a to-go too.
Right.
He has a hard time not calling people pussy boys. Oh, I had an idea today. You know the song Barracuda?
Oh, I know where you're going with this.
I'm thinking of a potential parody song. Barrawoosa.
But yeah, you're right. He can't say Lady K without saying just do it.
Right.
So it's like a trigger almost.
Yeah, it's like a tick.
Yeah, tick.
Maybe he'll get a show like Balin Dupree did on TLC. All these
But in John's defense, he can't really read even when he's sober. So, it's hard for him to understand what these super chatters are saying to him.
I like that it just says big fan ears. He goes, oh, I didn't see it going this way. He was all excited at first. He's like, I got a fan. Again. Okay. All right. So now he's going to talk about the shit weigher, of course.
Listen, it seems odd to me. Hey, Sir J, why am I banned on your channel? I am. Don't doubt me. Unblock and I'll super chat you a hundy. Noga Chaser says in my chat room.
Rob, I'm just glad you could figure out how we could both make money. I mean,
we're both live, but you have.
Did you learn this from the shitware? Holy shit! Is that anti-Semitic? I'm sorry, I mean that you're always grifting, the grip Christmas or whatever it is, the fake viewers. Oh my God, Rob, was I anti-Semitic? I didn't.
Oh well, anytime you don't like Shuli and you're against Shuli, yes, that's anti-Semitic.
Can we all agree that drunk John is way more entertaining than 2 in the afternoon, John?
Yeah, he couldn't even do his little mouth trumpet thing earlier.
Oh, I have those clips. Yeah. I have those clips. He starts failing miserably at everything.
That's peak John when he can't even make that sound. Yeah.
And Rob Saul is perfect for this show format. If you're going to have someone get wasted and not be embarrassed for them, you need a just as wasted Rob Saul.
Yeah, they're trying to outdo each other in a way.
Oh, yeah. It gets... This is the beginning of the show, by the way, I should point out. This is 8 in the evening. What's going on here?
Oh, this is the pregame for them.
Right. It gets crazier. So someone tells John he's got to buy new guitar strings. I've been saying this for a while. That guitar of his, it doesn't sound good. It doesn't stay in tune. I don't know that new strings would fix it, but it certainly couldn't hurt.
Now, here's the thing, Rob. I'll like this guy, don't matter. I love his name. Geddy Lee, Van Halen. I love Rush. I love Van Halen. Glad you got a tuna, John. Please use the $5 to buy some new strings for your guitar. He's right. These strings are probably as old as the time I gave them to my oldest kid when he was 9. So, yeah.
So the strings are 20 years old on this guitar. I don't know how that's even possible. They're as old as the time I gave them to my oldest kid when he was 9. So he gifted this guitar.
Or just the strings.
Or just the strings. What are you going to do with those strings? You want to put them on my guitar? Sure, Dad.
By the way, John's so unfunny that he messes up that chatter's name. It's actually a funny name, Geddy Van Halen, but he's like, Geddy Lee Van Halen. So he ruins the joke, which is Geddy Van Halen.
Yeah. But also, John goes, I like this guy because I like both Rush and Van Halen. It's like, the guy doesn't care about that. You're missing the point. Okay. So John has been talking about how he's leaving the show in January. He's got a job now. He mentioned that, I think, on the show yesterday or today. He's got this job going in January. He won't be back doing his show anymore, but there's going to be one exception. And I want to play this clip and discuss what this could possibly mean.
I'm done. Yeah. This is not a bid. It's not. Yeah. I don't plan on appearing on anywhere, anything.
Yeah.
There's one show I'm going to do, and that'll be February or March, and that's just with a good friend of mine, and it'll be one show.
That was a good friend of yours, no?
You are a good friend of mine, but, it's something that I already booked.
John's going to do one show in February or March, something he's already booked. Who's booking John months out? Is this Talk Tua? What show could he possibly be talking about that he's going to be doing in February or March that he has to keep his commitment to?
I mean, look, we all hope he lives forever, okay? But there's a chance that if you do get John to say yes, that he's going to be on your show, you should book it for tomorrow. Just in case something happens.
So it's definitely not who are these broadcasters.
No, we've been declined, yeah. But the problem is he says it's a friend.
Yes.
And who does he think is his friend? He has no actual friends. But I was trying to figure out who he thinks is his friend that he said yes, he'd do the show. It's not Pinky.
No, he wants that. He wants Pinky to pay him $3,000 again. That's why he's hoping if he goes away, he can make some bank. Adam, any thoughts on this?
Yeah, I thought about this a lot, and I think there is no guest. I think he realizes I'm not doing the show for all of January. Yeah, I'll definitely be back at some point in February or March. And then Rob cornered him, and he just starts lying like he does, and just had to double down on that. And now it's a guest friend that had to, you called it. There is no one who's like, yeah, let me look at my schedule. Middle of March. Let's put it down. Right. You and me, John.
Yeah,
it's not happening.
That'd be the weirdest thing. Okay.
He's thinking financially. He's going to need to raise money, and he's just coming up with an excuse.
Oh, right. He's getting out in front of it. I told you I was going to come back. I told you I made
that's
a
why
commitment.
The first thing was he knew the time. He knew it would be some point a month and a half after I've stopped doing this that I'll probably just do one more. He's already, letting us know he'll be back. It's not going to be a political show because he doesn't raise money from that. He wouldn't even remember. And even if it was a guest, he can't remember. He won't remember anything in March. He doesn't know where he's going to be tomorrow.
There's no way. Because the fact that he even goes, it's February or March, you didn't book a show then. Correct. It's a huge range of time.
The time zone? I mean.
Yeah.
Well, this was a simpler time when he had a cell phone where he could put the thing into the calendar, and now he's never going to know when it was.
Oh, my gosh. So that's a little foreshadowing. John got his phone stolen or he lost it or something, and I have the clip. We'll play it later, but he's talking to Vince, and Vince asks him about, is there anything people could find on your phone that would be embarrassing to you? Like your emails or something? And John goes, well, how would they get into my emails? And Vince goes, well, it's on your phone. Because that's to log into my Gmail account. So John might use his phone like such a boomer that he just goes into the web browser and does everything from there. He might not be able to access a calendar from his phone. He might not have no idea how to set up a calendar on his phone. I don't know.
Also, did the iPhone 5 have a calendar built in?
Yes,
I don't actually
all
know.
of the iPhones have a calendar.
Okay, I just
one of
wasn't
the most
sure.
basic apps. Everyone should use a calendar.
And a calculator.
If you're not. Okay. So there's this person named Cape Coral Kelsey. Oftentimes, Vince is talking about Cape Coral Kelsey, claims that she is an informant for him, and she's down there in Cape Coral spying on John, reporting back on what's going on. And John claims that he doesn't think it's a real person.
Cape Coral Kelsey, you don't exist. You've never fucking, I gave you so many offers.
Then who are you talking
There's
to?
no way a woman. Rob,
I've gotten so dumb watching this guy for so many years. I don't even pick up on the most obvious stuff. It's like, you know what? You're not even a person.
But I will take your $2.
That's fine.
And listen to what I have to say here.
And I'll prove you're not a person. You listening? Because I'm going to prove it.
Instead, give me 10.
there's no way a woman. Rob, I mean, you could feel free to disagree.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way a woman would refuse this.
Well, I'm going to plead the fifth on that.
I gave you the lob and you ran with it.
Okay. So the reason why I pulled this clip is for that
Checkmate.
part. That part right there. I gave you the lob. Yep. And you ran with it. What would you do with a lob, Christian? I mean, you're a baseball fan.
Yeah, I would hope that I was able to at least hit it for an inside the park home run if it didn't go over
at least
the
make
fence.
contact with it.
Yeah.
Maybe leg out a single.
Yeah. Or I would catch it and then run to third base.
I give you a lob and you ran with it. John seems to think that he's part of a comedy duo. I've seen him do this with other people too, where he'll say something and then the other person will make just the most obvious, easy joke. It's like, yep, this is us. We're the best at this.
And before the last
it's also one of the only ways he can enjoy like a joke being on him is by pretending that he was in control of it the whole time and setting it up from the beginning. And thank you for doing exactly what I wanted.
Yes.
And my favorite part about what we're watching is his inability to produce any actual joy or cheer. So it just comes off in this very like evil clown like delivery of forced laughter. That's very disturbing.
Yeah. And also there's this addiction and this thing where we're witnessing what happens every night at John's house. He gets drunk. He's probably yelling at his computer screen or the TV. And this is what his life is now. And the over the top maniacal laughing. You're right, Adam. This is not a jovial guy.
You know that character when he opens the show and he's like, hello, everybody.
Yeah.
Like, it's like a troll. It's like a real villain, like from Tim Burton. That's some dark stuff. And he thinks that's like positivity. It's going to be really fun when we see him, post the Kate date and suddenly it's a different character.
Yes.
And now there is some actual joy. We'll get to that.
He does the impression of a guy who's doing well in life. Like that's his impression of that. Like, yeah, you guys must think I'm killing it, right? Because I've been so happy and happy-go-lucky. Like, no, everyone sees right through it, actually. You're a terrible actor and no one's buying it at all.
It's monstrous. It comes off like a serial killer kind of behavior.
Yes. Now, this next clip, there's a couple things that are going on here. John's got a terrible joke. Rob can't read. It's all over the place.
And by the way, AJ Beat from my chat.
So he's reading the super chat from Albeit. Right? That's the joke. It's AJ Beat. What does he make sense, Rob?
And by the way, AJ.
Oh, I thought Adam was talking. I bet.
And by the way, AJ Beat from my chat paid $2 and said, ask Stuttering John if his wallet is in his car from the drive to bar.
All right, now here's the problem. It smells like tomato juice.
Yes.
Which only means.
So John got delivered beer multiple times during this episode because when VTM sees that John's doing a drunk stream, he can't order enough Grubhub and Uber Eats and deliveries to his house. So John's drinking something that he's already proclaimed years ago that he hates and will not drink. And now John's drinking it. It's the Modelo Chelada. It's like the beer that has tomato juice in it. And what's crazy here is John tries to make a joke and no one gets it. And so he tries to play it off like, oh, yeah, I'm just new boot goofing over here.
Tomato juice.
Yes.
Which only means it's going to taste like tomato juice.
Points his head.
I'm kidding, Rob.
Yeah.
See, I can't make those kind of jokes with these people because they will.
Who can you make those jokes with?
I have to watch it. I have to watch that again. This is crazy.
What joke?
This is crazy. He realized that what he said wasn't entertaining in any way, and they're just like, you don't get it.
John, if his wallet is in his car from the drive to bar.
All right, now here's the problem. It smells like tomato juice.
Yes.
Which only means it's going to taste like tomato juice. I'm kidding, Rob.
Yeah.
See, I can't make those kind of jokes with these people because they will.
Do you have the drop? That's just drug talk.
I do.
Sweet.
But you did it just fine. Thank you. Yeah, he's like pearls before swine,
Yeah.
You just don't get this.
This is the version of John that I like. This is the real John that we're seeing. Like I said before, if he wasn't talking to Rob, he'd be talking to his TV, or he'd be yelling at the shitwaya, or he'd be clapping along with clips of him on the Howard Stern show. We know he watches himself.
Or he puts lipstick on his hand.
He's not Aaron Cartman. I don't know. It's not that entertaining. So then a super chat comes in that asks John to play a scale.
Uh-oh.
I think this is fun. There's a few musicians here for us to analyze John's response to this.
Brian S. says, ask John to play scale without looking at the neck. I'm reading my super chats.
Play what scale? I mean, there's a lot of scales.
Well, there you go. You got to elaborate there.
Bass clef? Is the treble clef? I mean, you got to really, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of options here.
All right, I'll ask you first, Adam. Is the bass clef or the treble clef a scale?
No, that would be irrelevant here.
Okay, that's what I thought. John's trying to sound smart, which he can do in front of second graders. If he wants to
Rob.
right. If he wants to sound smart about music, well, I mean, I could play a scale, but you didn't tell me which scale. Treble
You
clef?
dumb fuck.
Doesn't make any sense at all.
You know, kids are like, oh, treble clef. I've heard that said when I'm not paying attention to you. All right, that must be the right answer. All right.
So,
John, can you play a scale? And he's like, here are some musical terms.
right.
Okay,
Yeah.
can you play a scale? Any scale?
Well,
In
six.
any-
You want it in 6/8 time? You want it in 4/4? Do you want it
Should
in
I
two?
play the-
Things are not on the question.
Should I play the do re mi? What do you want? Which scale? We got a bunch.
So later on, this guy comes back and says, John, any scale. I don't care. You choose. And listen to this deflection that he has.
And Jacob Ryan S. for $2 says, John, play any scale at all they want you to play.
Oh, wait. Any scale.
Yeah.
Some scales require different things.
Like what?
Should I get a capo?
A capo.
Ask him that, Rob.
Capo?
Even Rob knows it's a capo.
Yeah, I call it a capo.
I call it a cop out.
Yeah, Italian mafia.
Oh my gosh, you're
Mob
right.
talk.
That was a cop out, and his brain connected the two things. He called a capo a capo. Now, I realize people are going to be annoyed with me, but as a guitar player for many years, no scale requires a capo.
Nope.
You can play every fucking scale that's ever been invented on a guitar. You don't need a capo to do it. And he could have just played a chromatic scale. That would have been the joke.
I was thinking go with the easiest.
Yeah, just play every note.
You can't lose.
You can't. There it is. There's a scale. Yep, you're right. That is a scale.
This little deflection that we just saw here is like he'll wage year-long wars in his life over refusing to be corrected over
Yes.
the correct pronunciation of capo. He will hold on to that. I'm from Italian. I'm from this place in Long Island where we call it a capo. And he'll hold on to these things forever.
He'll look it up. He'll find where the word came from and find the Latin root and be like, yeah, but it was pronounced this way in Latin, and therefore everyone else is wrong.
He'll die on that hill for no reason.
For no reason, I'll just be like, oh, yeah, I meant capo.
Oh, I'm sorry, for $2.
Well, the reason is now we're talking about this instead of talking about the fucking scale he can't play.
Right. Play the goddamn scale. And the capo has nothing to do with the fucking scale, especially if it's any scale.
And you're not Italian.
That's like Homer with the any key. There doesn't seem to be any key. The guy goes, play any scale. Well, there's the other problem. There's some scales that you can't play. Right, so play the one you can. That was the point of all of that.
Well, that would be too easy.
It reminds me of the outtake from the audiobook Howard used to always play, William Shatner saying, sabotage the system. And he's like, well, no, that word sabotage. No, I say sabotage. And, he won't give in.
Right.
And, yeah.
He knows better. He's the celebrity.
Yeah.
He's the star. All right. I'm sorry. I know people get annoyed when I make fun of John's knowledge on music, but it's just wild to me. It's wild that he was teaching music theory to second graders.
Right.
And he could just be like, I'm not going to pick up a scale. I'm not your monkey. I'm going to play a scale for you. That's what I would say. I can play a scale for you, but it would be easy to do for anyone who plays fucking guitar. And John just has to be like, well, I don't know. You have to give me more information.
Also, second graders don't really learn music theory. They just learn music. It's called music.
Well,
Right.
you didn't have Mr. Melendez as your teacher, Adam. So I think that they have actually learned music theory. So
You know, and maybe if I would have, and if he just would have sat me next to his desk and I could have learned from osmosis, I wouldn't be the limited musician I am
It's
today.
been pointed out, in second grade, the teacher sits behind a piano and everyone sings the songs along with them.
Yeah.
You just learn how to like sing songs and stuff. Maybe there's a recorder involved at a certain point. You learn 3 or 4 notes.
Yeah, if you're lucky.
Right. Yeah. If you got a big budget at that school, maybe the kids are going to record it.
The substitute music teacher is really getting involved in any aspect of their education or lives.
We were talking about it on Point Dabble Point, John's one-man show that we all want to see happen, obviously. But I said, John claims he's put together a 40-minute lecture on music theory for this class, and he calls it a performance that he does. I would pay $1,000 a seat and bring all you guys along with me to go watch John present music theory to second graders. If he could recreate that somehow. Or if someone was filming that class, I'd pay less money than that, but still.
Yeah, I picture all the preamble, which probably involves like what he used to do and all that. It's not just going to be like, here's the notes of a scale or...
Did I tell you guys that Sting was in my music video?
Right.
Do you guys know the band The Police?
It would be all that. It would go on for more than 40 minutes.
Do you think the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar roast might come up before he got to actually discussing music?
Perhaps.
Do you know
I
how many
have
points
studied
he
acting
averaged?
a little bit since I was a kid, pretty seriously, and he loves to come off like an acting teacher. And the only thing I've ever heard him say is the word colors. He's like, you need more colors in your work. And I explained to these kids what colors were. I don't know what he thinks colors are, but that's really for painting. That's not what we're doing here. So I could teach an entire music theory course just on John tuning that guitar to his voice, right? Which no one can do. And then hitting the note and singing it at the same time without hearing it, thinking he was going to be able to guess with his voice what the first note was of this entirely wrong chord, which, man, like he thought he was going to come in and hit that.
La 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 la.
That's what we teach a course on. I would love to see anything he has to offer. I think it would be incredibly entertaining.
Do you guys think that even for like a split second? Oh, sorry. Do you guys think even for a split second he just figures that? Forget how long this drop is.
See, now, if I was a nice guy, I would have paused that and let you talk.
No. I deserved it. I should never talk over a drop like that.
What were you saying? Was the point you're making?
I can't wait for you to play the drop again when I try to talk again.
No. Look at my hands up here.
No, not this show. Not this show. So even for a second, do you think he's just like, you know what, I'm too wasted to play any scales. Let's talk about, does he even ever consider that? Just being like, no, not tonight. I'm too drunk.
Yeah.
Like, it seems like he has to be like, no. I just don't understand your dumb question.
He can never admit that he's actually drunk.
He can never admit anything.
Right. But he even has to say at a certain point in this show, he's just like, I'm just like 4 beers in. And, well, that's probably organ failure than what we're watching because that's not great either.
Good point.
Okay. Good point. Organ failure.
Well, no,
Good point.
just like when he lies about being younger, it's like, no, you look like shit.
Yes.
Say you're older, dumbass.
That's something I don't point out a lot on here. John used to lie about his age for years until he found out that Google exists. Years after Google existed. And he realized he couldn't lie about his age anymore. But yeah, it's the worst thing. If he could still lie about his age, what would he be saying? He's 48 right now or something like that. You'd just be like, oof, I hope not.
I'm timeless.
I remember when he tried to convince Gary on the Howard Stern show that he was lying about his age, making himself younger as a goof on Gary. And he really thought he could spin the whole room into thinking this was not his own personal vanity. This was a goof on Gary. And he never let it go. And this is how he still lives his life.
That's right. I forgot. Yeah, he did get busted on Stern lying about his age.
And he's like, look at how stupid Gary is. He thinks I'm younger when I tell everyone I'm younger. What a fool. How embarrassing for him.
And that goes back to Chad Zumach's School of Schooling People and Stuttering John, like lie. And then someone repeats your lie and you go, ha, you idiot. You fell for that? Oh, I just didn't realize you're a pathological liar. I won't be fooled again.
Right.
My bad.
Fool me once.
Yes. All right. Now, Rob Saul gets a question about his Christmas plans. I don't know a lot about Rob's personal life other than that he's a loser with no friends and very little family.
I think you just summed it up.
I think I summed it up.
Nailed it.
So he gets the question about his Christmas plans. And he, like John, has these tells when it comes to him lying that are, watch how Rob responds to this.
What's your big plans for Christmas?
I am going out with some family and friends. I'm going to my family's, and then I'm going one of my best friends. They consider me a part of their family. I'm going to their family Christmas party. I happen to have off Christmas this year, and
Family.
I am doing stuff that normal people do because I'm popular and I have friends and family and I'm itchy all of a
Certainly not
sudden.
lying.
My face is itchy and I have to look over here and over here. But definitely not straight ahead.
I'm having family time with my friend's family because they consider me to be family. What about you?
It sounds about right. I believe that. Rob? Okay. Vince, you see John's not up here right now. It's because he got another knock on the door. He's over talking to whoever's at the door for him. And Vince is just sending John drinks he hates, which is one of the things that Vince likes to do.
Look, here's the problem. Vince has sent me this shit, but he said me shit I can't drink now. Vince, at least send me a 6-pack of fucking Michelob Ultra. I can't get this chelada is gonna make me puke. I don't really drink this shit.
He goes, this is gonna make me puke. He's already started drinking that. He's got 3 drinks open right now.
But he's already puked, so
right.
Shit. I don't know.
So now he shows off. Yeah, he's got the screwdriver, Smirnoff screwdriver thing that he's showing off to the camera. He's like, I can't drink this. And then what do you think he's going to do with that drink?
Hydrate?
He's going to drink it.
I don't know. Let me try.
Well, Stuttering John, since you can't see it on screen, I got to tell you, I got to pull up a super chat from Gino Bobina. It's a pink one. It's a $50 one.
Good.
They say, go.
There's that chord. You ever see those guitarists who can grab a bottle and play like slide guitar with the beer bottle? They shred on it. John's able to drop a bottle and hit that chord. He's amazing. He hit that chord from across the room.
He ruined the beer and the guitar.
He's more upset about the beer.
I know.
So he goes, I can't drink this stuff. He's already drinking the tomato thing. And then he goes, well, let me try it. And cracks it open and starts chugging it. It's almost like you don't have discerning taste, John. It's fine.
This is terrible.
All right, I'll drink 3 more of these, but stop sending them after that.
I'll take the crab juice.
Before John's musical moment was one of my favorite things about this show, which is Rob cannot wait to point out that he got a $50 super chat from someone who insults John. And he sees it when John's gone. He's like, oh, I got to save that one. I can't wait to he's so upfront about it. We were talking on Point Double Point. None of these people like John, but he just can't wait to be like, hey, how about that? You don't have $50 tonight, loser.
Well, okay.
Good point.
Since you brought that up, and actually our buddy Cardiff is here. Cardiff might have some insights. I don't know if he's ever studied Stuttering John before. What's up, Cardiff?
Oh, hello. You had me at, as soon as I heard capo, I needed to jump on.
Capo? What the fuck?
Is that how they say that in Minnesota, Cardiff?
Of course. And there's many scales you can't not play without a capo.
Okay.
Did I say that right?
You'll have to tell me during the break which scales though are. I'm confused by that.
And in which clef, you dumb fuck.
You're right. You don't know anything. So, John, this is later on in the show, but he puts up a insulting super chat. So this is like payback. They're battling super chats here. He puts up an insulting super chat about Rob, but claims he's not sure if it's insulting or not. Like, you can't read a sentence before putting it up on your show?
Rob, if I put up a super chat, it's not to hurt you in any way. So I don't know what this is going to say. Cool Cut Casting, Slob Soul is podcast poison. Thanks for letting us hit this clown with tomatoes.
Yeah, that could go either way.
Casting, you're a fucking loser.
I'm not sure if that's insulting or not. John goes, look at Rob, just so you know, there's no way I could possibly know if it's insulting or not. So don't take offense if it happens to be insulting.
Can you play the end of that? What does Rob say?
Oh, I backed it up.
Oh, all right, great.
It's in all caps.
Yeah. What?
And it starts with slob Saul.
Yeah, so we knew because the first word was slob. He knew exactly what it was. He only gets fooled when it's at the end. So he was letting him know ahead of time.
So I know what this is going to say. Cool Cut Casting, Slob Soul is podcast poison. Thanks for letting us hit this clown with tomatoes.
Cool Cut Casting, you're a fucking loser that just pays money, and you're like, I'm throwing my pennies and at people. No, you're losers.
Who knew he was going to call him a loser? I wasn't predicting that.
I was going to create a Rob Saul game, like how he responds to things, but all the answers were losers. There's no way to fool you.
Yeah. He really is a one-trick pony when it comes to this stuff. And I can't think of someone who's more down on their luck than Rob Saul in his Forever 21 shirt getting wasted on the internet with Nasty Neal and Stuttering John Melendez. Is there a bottom lower than this?
We'll find out.
On, he was on Win by 2 the other day.
Okay.
And I guess he was Win by 2 uses Zoom or something, and he didn't have his green screens.
Oh,
like
no.
his StreamYard green screens. So he just had a green, like the green fabric behind him.
Yep.
And it just made him, like at least the background he has there makes him almost look like he's somebody. But when he's just performing or talking in front of a green sheet, he looks even more pathetic.
Yeah, we talk about...
Fantastic. There you go.
Yeah, like Christian looks right now. What a loser.
What? No, I look cool. That's the difference between me and Rob Saul.
We do talk about wanting to see John's house and what it all looks like. Rob's place would be fascinating as well. I can only imagine what that place is like. Because you're right, Cardiff. He's got that one of his green screens is that recording studio with that sick board and drum room and everything. And you're like, wow, this guy owns a multi-million-dollar studio.
This guy can play a scale.
This guy knows how to play a scale. He's got the Roadcaster in front of him. He knows what he's doing. I would love to see what reality looks like. Kind of like how we're seeing John's reality with the empty closet behind him. Why not close the doors if you're going to have an empty closet?
Because you'd have to move the boxes out of the way, Carl.
You're right. And he's got his guitars lined up right there. He wants to show off those sweet guitars. I'm sure they all have new strings on them, too.
You'll see later on that Vince asked John about something about his underwear, and he goes, "Oh, this is the kind I wear." And he didn't even have to leave frame. He just reached down, pulled right up, had underwear at the ready. So I want to see what's going on below there, and I want to see not just Rob's place, but his neighbors. I want to see that whole complex there and how they're all living together.
Yeah, because that neighbor who came over for a $20 bill so he could make a beer run.
All right.
And Rob had the most specific order of all time. It was 2 drinks I'd never heard of in a size I didn't know existed.
Yeah, it's like the tiny little...
And then he goes, get yourself something nice, too. Whatever's left over.
I hate to burst your bubble. It's Rob's roommate.
Oh, is that Rob's roommate?
It's Rob's roommate.
Oh, no shit.
Wait, he podcasts in his living room with roommates?
He has roommates, for sure. He's had people walk in on his show more than once. There's no way people are just walking into his... They live in the house with him.
Oh, you're right. The apartment, yeah. That's a good point.
What are the odds it's some kind of group home setup?
Interesting. I wouldn't put it past
him. He drinks too much. Nah, never mind.
He does own the place. He's talked about that. We all know the bankruptcy. He does own the place, but I think you have to bring in some... some boarders, as they would call them, to pay the bills.
Okay, so... There's a super chat that comes up about John's relationship with his children. And I think it's odd that this is why he won't ask that question.
You know what? I'm not even going to answer this one because it's only $2. You gotta leave me more money. $2. John, honest answer. Last time you saw each child. John's not going to want to answer that. And
yeah, not for $2. He's not going to want to answer that. I mean, $5 maybe he would. So John's up at the door right now talking to the next delivery guy. And so that's why Rob's putting this up.
Exactly. He's taking a moment out to insult him.
Correct. Yes. He's like, he's not going to want to answer this. And for $2, what price could you put on John's dignity? I'd love to know.
$2.
That, and I'm not going to force them on my show for $2. You know. And who cares? Like, why do you care? His relationship with his children.
Yeah.
Do
I can hear
you get
someone
that?
talking in the background.
Do you get that? Like, why people are so obsessed
No.
with our relationship with our kid?
Yeah. I don't know. I can hear John talking to someone else in the background.
Yeah.
Trying to spy in.
All right. And now, can you please leave me alone?
Oh, jeez. Yeah. Now, please leave me alone.
All right, so at least Nasty Neal understands. Shut the fuck up, Rob. We can hear John, the delivery person at the door, the most interesting part of the show, when John's interacting with these people who are delivering free booze from Vince. But I like that Rob, and I'll open it up to the group here. Got a good group. Do you guys know why people would want to know the answer to when's the last time John has spoken with any of his children?
C. Was
I think it's because he talks about what a great parent he is.
Yes, it's because he lies about it endlessly.
Yeah.
If John came out and just went, I wish I had a better relationship with my kids, we'd all be like, oh, that sucks. We'd feel bad for the guy. Yeah. It's only because he lies. Why do you think Cardiff outed John for Zoom courting from his second grade classroom? Because he said he was at an ad agency.
Mm-hmm. Eating prime rib for lunch every day at 9 a.m.
That's why we're interested in it.
Also brags about being a great teacher.
Yes. Yeah. I've said it many times, but I'll just say it again. We've clowned Opie for endless hours, and I've never cared about what his personal life is like. No. I don't think he's lying to us about anything. I think he does have that really nice apartment in Manhattan and that other house that's on the beach and probably another place in Philly.
I believe those three things.
I believe those three things. I think he didn't pay for parking in the garage, and so he had to move his car once a week.
I believe that.
For the street sweeper. So
I do believe that Doggy really does like him. I don't know about anybody else, but I think Doggy really likes him.
Have a great relationship, honestly. But that's the reason
I
why.
think what we're seeing is it's the same thing as when he was on the Howard Stern show explaining to Gary that he's younger than he really is and that it's a goof on Gary. That's the noble cause. That's what we're all here to do, right, Howard? We're all here to goof on Gary. So that's a holy thing. I can do anything in the name of that. John, all of these lies that were just listed that you have admitted are lies, you will say they were lies to protect the children.
Right.
Maybe. Why do they also have to be lies that make you look good? Do you understand that's the part we're interested in? We're not interested in the children part. We're interested in the part of you that says, I have to protect children by looking like a Monopoly billionaire with a monocle. And, that's what we're taking down. It's not the kids. Maybe if your lies didn't have to make you look like some kind of superhero in every single telling, even a substitute teaching gig has to be like, lean on me. And you're like, shoeless Joe. It's just stop it. Just stop it.
But that really is what it comes down to. When I had my one-on-one with John over a year ago, I told him, I understand you want to protect the kids, but why did you have to make up that you were working for a trivia app? And why did you say you bought a 5-bedroom house in New Mexico? Like, you're making up these lies that make people want to dig in and see what you're lying about, rather than just say, yeah, I have a day job. It's none of your business. No, I work at an ad agency.
To be fair, those lies did make Gary Delabate look really stupid. So,
okay. And that is the goal.
And again, to be fair, I wasn't spying on his Zoom court to find out if he was substitute teaching. That just happened. Nobody expected that to happen.
That's why it was a big story that broke. Yes, correct. And Rob would be like, well, how do you care if he's substitute teaching? Because he was lying about it. He thought he was writing an ad for the Super Bowl. No one bought it for a second.
John, if you really want to protect the kids or your kids, when somebody says, John, are you teaching? Say, no, I work at the DMV.
Yes.
It just kind of ends
job.
there.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
There's nothing else to say. It's the fact that you're living a Mad Men fantasy that makes people have some follow-up questions.
Yes. The fact that you're unemployable and have a 6-figure job is why people are like, wait a second.
And just to bring this back to Rob, can we point out that, because I normally listen to these shows, and I did listen to this one, I didn't watch. I wasn't aware that there was this like Louis C.K.'s slower younger brother dressed as an elf, just not saying a word for a full hour at a time until John leaves. And now it's his turn to not listen to Rob and to interrupt him and to tell him you're doing the wrong thing. Can we please just listen to the door?
Yes. And thank you, Nasty Neal, for pointing that out. Now, Neil's a little different than John and Rob in that he's sober. How he puts up with this, I have no idea. It reminds me of when DG and John did that drunk show with Joey C.
Oh, yeah.
And Joey C was sober. I'm like, why are you talking to these guys still? Aren't you annoyed? Because I would be. So John comes back from arguing with the person at the door and tells us that he's not sure who's in whose head when it comes to his relationship with VTM.
I don't know. Fucking Vince said that fucking dwarf was probably drinking. You know what that dwarf thought? He thought my bit that I did was hysterical, and now he's rewarding me.
What do you think?
Good.
He thinks he's in my head. I'm in his head too. That's what it was. He loved that dwarf bit, and now he's gonna keep on earning me shit.
John thinks he's being rewarded for good bits, and that's why. And I don't know if John really thinks this. I don't know what John thinks, honestly. I'm not going to be like Aaron Imholt claiming that I can think like myself and think like other people. I don't know. But John is constantly claiming that he's entertaining to Vince, and Vince's kids love him, and he knows that he's killing it. And Vince, the other person he hangs out with as much as John, is High Pitch Eric. Vince sees John as a whack packer that he can clown nonstop. That's it. That's the beginning end. That's everything you need to know about their relationship.
And John with the deliveries is like Homer saying, "I don't need your money," as he puts the check in his pocket.
Normally people don't take the money when they say that.
Because that's the stance he has to take if he's going to accept this from
Right.
someone who's clowning him openly.
Right. I'm not sure who's in whose head. Okay. So now John gets mad at Rob because Rob's got too many super chats, more than John has, even though Rob has like 5 viewers, but everyone's super chatting him. John's not getting any super chats. So he has to shut it down. He's like, I thought we were just going to have a conversation, man. I thought we were going to talk. And then watch what John does immediately after he shuts that down.
But I'm saying, you're reading. I wanted to ask, really, in questions, talk without these stupid super chats. I don't really not stupid. I appreciate all of you.
Yeah, of course.
But I don't want to get to affect my train of thought. Polar bear skill.
He goes, Rob, stop reading these super chats. You're getting me off track. All right, let's get back to my super chats now.
Get that stupid $50 super chat off the screen. Polar bear $1.99. Skull.
Yep.
That's it.
He doesn't read.
We've seen
$2 super
videos
chats.
of like children under 5, under 3. Somebody else gets a toy and they just give me the toy. They can't have it. They can't rest. They have to blow out the candles. They can't do it.
Yes.
And that's him. And he does a little more advanced trickery, but it's the same thing. He is incapable of being happy for anyone or ever seeing that if money were to be hitting those around you, that means it could hit you at some point. You want to support this. We're not looking for a desert. He truly, it's not enough for him to have anything. We also cannot have. He can't stand it.
And we've literally watched him tell Clay Dabbler to shut up so he can read super chats.
Yes, all the time.
Like his guests.
Yes.
His guests be damned. But
Adam, you just reminded me of one of my favorite moments ever in the Dabbleverse was, and Shuli and Chad were working together. It was right after John came back, and John's on with Chad, and Chad puts his Venmo out there. Yeah. And all of a sudden, all this money's coming into Chad's Venmo. And they were even doing photoshops of what Venmo deposits would look like and sending them to Chad. So Chad's showing this. Guy's like, holy shit, another $300, John. And John's face just goes, well, you could probably share some of that with me. Like he got so upset that Chad was making money on that. It was one of the best trolls ever. That pisses off John to no end. Someone else succeeding.
You know how we know that on this day that we're watching, John's upset that Rob Saul's making so much money in Super Chats? He's upset because he says, no, Rob, I'm happy for you that you're making so much money.
Mm-hmm.
That's the tell that it's like, oh, he's furious.
Yeah, he's not happy for anyone, ever. No, there's no way. Unless he can take credit for it. He's happy that his son went to Harvard because his dad was so brilliant. You know what I mean? Like, it always comes back to him. It's never just like, man, that kid's been through a lot. It's amazing. I hope he has a great life. It's always a reflection of him and what he did to have that happen. Even when he's talking about Howard Stern, this was happening just recently this week, where he's talking about the Howard Stern show and how much better it was when he was on the show. I think it might have been Clay Dabbler was asking, what do you think? Some people say that the Artie years were better after you left. And just like, no one thinks that. It's like, no, actually, I do, personally.
I definitely think that.
Yeah, when they went to Sirius.
Yes.
When they went to Satellite, the show changed. It took on a whole new life. It was amazing.
But it's so reflexive in his behavior. He cannot just dish out a compliment and leave it there.
No.
He can't say anything. He can't do a movie quote and say, wasn't that a great movie? No, it's like, did you enjoy how I did that quote? Isn't that amazing? I remembered it word for word.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Every fucking thing.
Well, speaking of that, John is quizzing Nasty Neal. Now, Nasty Neal was on this show talking about he's into horror movies, and I think he makes or produces independent horror movies.
He has a horror movie podcast.
He's a horror movie podcast, so he's always
Off
talking.
your head or some shit.
Yeah. So he's really into movies. So John quizzes Nasty Nate here. Or Nasty Neal.
Who's the bigger fool? The fool or the fool that follows him?
No, that's an age-old question, I think. I would have to go with the fool that follows the fool.
No, who said it?
Oh, who said it? You just I thought you were asking that.
No, I'm talking movie. Rob, I've already told you. That's why you're not allowed to.
Yes.
Well, I'm not positive what movie that is.
Fucking Neil.
He already told Rob, so this is the one piece of trivia he has in his brain right now that he can use.
It's a famous line from the original Star Wars.
Yeah, I was going to say.
This isn't a difficult trivia question.
At least he went deep and really obscure. No wonder that Neil didn't know it. That's not on Neil.
But that is, Chris, I think that's what was happening. I think this guy's a movie buff who talks movies all day long. I think this was such an obvious question that he was like taking it as an actual question. Like, are you asking me if I can handle the truth? Like, what movie that's from? Like, these are basic. I think it didn't even occur. Like, and I think when he hears Star Wars, he'll be like, oh, right. Like, I wasn't even. We don't talk about Star Wars on my podcast. We talk about that's what I think.
We go a little deeper.
John, are you calling me a fool? Or are you the fool? What are you?
Yeah.
Cardiff, if you ever bring back the Who Said It game, you got to pull that drop.
Said it. Yeah, I need that.
John saying Who Said It.
By the way, Adam Bush has a little bit of foresight in today's game with the you can't handle the truth.
Oh, shit. All right.
Yeah, John throws that line around in today's episode.
Nice.
But Adam Bush, I have a question for you. Luke, I am your father. Go.
First of all, my name's not Luke.
Right.
And
I
we're
am
not
your father, though.
Right, that is true. Is it from a musical?
Okay.
Play the clip, Carl.
Let's get it.
You can't handle the truth.
Let's get into John playing the hand trumpet, something he's very proud of. Again, going back to how talented he is as a musician.
No one has came to understand the talent of doing that. Like, I'm one hand, right? Mm-hmm. You know, I'd use the two for like a Muslim, but here.
A muzzle. It's called a mute.
Oh, no, not good yet. No, it's not going to be good because my hands are wet. Anyway,
that's
you
why.
understand the premise.
Why are your hands wet? Nothing is better than calling your shot. Like if Babe Ruth had struck out after pointing to left field, there's nothing funnier than that right there. It's like, people don't realize how fucking scary talented I am. Check this out. Okay.
My hands are all wet from doing that. It's so stupid.
So John thinks that he has this unique talent that nobody else has. Someone sent this to me to play on Who Are These Socials? I'm not sure if we have played it or not, but it fits into this context pretty well. Check out this chick.
Here's a weird talent nobody asked for.
That is Mouth Trumpet Girl. She's pretty fucking impressive. I would start a horn section with her. I don't know if the others would be offended by that or not, but it sounds great. Much better than John's.
Cheating when you use a glass as a muzzle.
As a muzzle.
But the whole point is it's not supposed to actually sound like a trumpet. That's why
Oh.
mine's better, Lady K.
My bad. Yes, I'm sure he'd have a reason why his is better than that. This is so we're reading super chats back and forth. They're simulcasting. They're both on their own channels doing this, and a brilliant idea is thrown out.
Man of
I think we can do a thing here, Rob. We can go super chat, point super chat. You read yours and then I read mine.
Yes.
That'll be a new show on the Sandusky Network.
Super chat, point super chat.
And you can Venmo me a Headyverse. I'll read them.
I like that. Nasty Neal gets in there at the end. He's just like, I can also be taking your money, yeah, guys. No, my favorite part about that clip is it's point counterpoint. It's not counterpoint counter. It's not 0.0. They're like, give me super chat, point, and super chat. You're not even understanding how this phrase works. The reason why it's point dabble point is if the point to go on the either end. It's a discussion. People making points.
Can you slow down with that explanation? Hold on. What?
I know. I might have
What?
I might have over-explained it just now.
I think I might have to call you out on that one, Carl.
Please do.
I think you're a hypocrite.
Okay, fair enough.
Got you there.
No, John's being honest about what he wants. He does not want any counterpoints. He just wants
Yeah.
people to agree with him. He's not looking for the other side, so why request it?
Super chat, point, super chat. I'm tuning in for that show. It sounds amazing. Can we super chat it? Oh, yeah. We accept super chats. Cool. Sounds good. All right, now, Penis Wrinkle gets into the mix here on the super chats, and Penis Wrinkle has some opinions on Rob Saul and maybe what Rob is up to, and Rob doesn't like it.
I know a pillhead nod when I see one. Look at this.
It says, I know a pillhead nod when I see when Rob's a fiend. And Rob does. I mean, his head motions, and I said this before. I was going back and watching an old episode where it was like Rob and Bob Levy or something from a few years ago. He was not like that. This is all new behavior that's going on. And it gets crazier the later it is in the day that he's streaming.
I can't wait. This guy is
Penis Wrinkle. Why don't you just shut? Why don't you? I mean, you have.
Yeah, he's the biggest
You want to
loser.
say to me? I implore you to come to my face and say it, but you won't because you're a pussy. And look at you. You're hiding behind a Tim Curry Pennywise.
Why is that always the move? So someone says, dude, you seem like a pillhead. I can tell by the way you're nodding your head all around. Rob's response is to nod his head all over the place and then say, why don't you punch me in the face? Yeah. Because I'm on the internet and so are you, idiot. Because no one's looking to fight anyone.
Fucking a graphic. You're a loser. You're a fucking loser. Yeah, I get it. You can look up people's information. Look up my information. Come to me and find
very
me.
disturbing.
Did Penis Wrinkle say anything about his information or looking up his information? He just said that it seems like you're maybe on pills.
You seem to be.
Rob can't
so,
make eye contact with this entire side of the room.
Right.
Like, he can't even look in that direction. And it only happens when somebody accuses him of being inebriated. Suddenly he is dizzy
You're
and
inebriated,
spinning.
Adam. I'm not inebriated. What do you mean?
Exactly.
What Rob was referring to was Penis Wrinkle was the one that broke the Rob Saul bankruptcy story.
Oh, okay. Well, that was an important story.
It was.
That was an important story only because they'll be like, why do you care if he had a bankruptcy? Because he calls everyone a loser. That's what makes it interesting. When someone goes around saying that everyone else is a loser, you find out that they're a loser. You're like, well, that's interesting. I'm going to note
And
that
for
down.
two people that are accusing everybody else of, you're inside their heads, you're having a conversation with him right now that needed explanation to the audience because you don't care if we understand. You're just fighting a battle and having a conversation with ghost people who are
point.
joking with you.
Yes.
And John is at first proud of his boy and then slowly disgusted.
Good
And
point.
the fact that I know all these facts means I'm a loser.
I agree with that. Yeah. Penis Wrinkle, his only job is to get a rise out of people, and then they do just that all the time. Robbie goes on to say that he has him blocked and stuff like that. It's like, yeah, that's what he's trying to do, is fuck with you, idiots.
He has a lawyer involved with Penis Wrinkle.
Oh, I thought the lawyer was with Kevin Brennan.
No, I believe he's discussed penis wrinkle as well with his lawyer.
I guess Penis Wrinkle will be super chatting $1.99 anytime soon. Not after he's spent on his legal fees.
I hope that court hearing is actually also streamed on Zoom. The state of New Jersey versus Penis Wrinkle 12.
Yes. Penis Wrinkle, is that a second
Nasty
grader
Neal
behind
might
you?
point out. Nasty Neal might point out that it's the old Tim Curry, not the current one. That's something to talk about.
Right.
All you can do is make fun of his
You should know
avatar.
that.
People's information. Look up my information. Come to me and find me.
Very disturbing.
You seem to be so.
You ever stop and think like I'm yelling at a guy named Penis Wrinkle?
Yeah, I mean, all I'm saying is, this guy's such a tough guy. Come say it to me. I'm more than willing to hear you out because you seem to have such an issue with me that I would love to hear you out face to face, you pussy.
Let's see.
No one's got Rob's back, which is great. Even amongst friends, it's like, all right, you done? Moving on. Hey, Rob, I also make fun of you on the internet. It's not because I'm a tough guy. It's not because I want to meet you face to face and explain this shit to you. I'd rather talk to a larger audience than just you and explain that you suck. I hate that thing where it's just like, oh, you think you're a tough guy? Penis Wrinkle's never claimed to be a tough guy.
No.
His name is Penis Wrinkle.
And the way John just glazes over and he's like, yeah, welcome to my world.
Yeah, right. Like, why you get so worked up, you idiot? This is why you get clowned on the internet. So John is so fucked up at this point that he brags he's able to read a super chat. And then Rob does something. I've never seen anything like this before. This is wild.
Great show. So this is the normal night, John, getting shit-faced and blacking out alone. Really sad, man. Rob, nice eyeliner and dashiki. Just do it.
Yeah. Oh, you're so funny, fella. Oh, my God.
Hey, Neil, if I was that fucked up, could I have read that well?
Very, very well said. I plus, at the door.
I guess that's the case closed motion. It means a lot of different things to John. It's like aloha to John. It can mean hello, I love you, goodbye. But that was case closed. I read a super chat. How fucked up can I possibly be? Now watch what Rob does here. Because I always say that John's a 6-year-old child, and that's how it explains all of his behavior. Watch this.
Or, and you're here with the two of us.
Look at me. I'm the guy from Star Trek.
But again, all right, Neil.
What the fuck was that?
Wow.
Look at me. I'm the guy from Star Trek.
I think he said Star Trek. I'm pretty sure he said Star Trek too. Just that insult to.
They both gave him nothing, which was great. Is amazing Star Trek bit.
What it deserved. Yeah.
Look at me. I'm the guy from Star Trek.
I think you're right.
But again, all right, Neil.
By the way, he gets criticized for wearing eyeliner, and the first thing he does is cover up his eyes.
Yeah. There's something to that.
A loser wouldn't do that.
He's reaching. He had some success with the Shuli costume.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, let's see what other props. Like, oh, I have headphones. Let's see what
success. Vince, the lawyer, said it was the best improv he's ever seen in his life.
That is true.
And there's one thing I know
the
about
best
Vince.
improv Vince has ever seen in his life.
One thing I know about Vince is he's never lying and telling the opposite of the truth. Now, John gets a question here that he has to think quick on.
Hey, John, honest question. With your credits, why do you think you haven't been able to find out this showbiz job? When COVID happened, I was like, fuck it, no industry. So I decided to become a school teacher. Sorry if that's not cool in your book, but to me, these children need school teachers.
Did they not need school teachers before the quarantine?
He thought it up quick.
Well, that's the thing. the idea that John hasn't tried to maintain his show business career is insane, and we've all watched him do this. Before he left LA, he's like, I got an audition, and I'm going to get this gig, and I'm going to probably do this thing, and he's constantly talking about what he's going to do. And they're like, how come you never got any of these gigs? He's like, because I'd rather be a substitute school teacher. What part of that do you not understand?
I just
John,
want to... Go ahead. No, go ahead.
You know what's still happening during the pandemic? Voiceovers, podcasts. Like, you've done cartoons. You didn't have to stop being an artist, and they kids still needed help before this. Like, just admit what's happening.
Adam,
you could have
you're
done
wrong.
many other things.
You're wrong.
I was listening
No
to
one
comics talk about doing roofs and pool parties and houses.
No one has a job in show business anymore because of COVID. Nobody
Right.
does.
Right.
Well, it's funny you say that, Carl, because my wife's a television writer. She hadn't worked for all of 2019. And in July of 2020, she got hired on a TV show. And then when that one was over, she was hired on another show. She worked for about 3.5 years straight.
Nope,
Yeah,
you're lying. You're lying. Because of COVID. There's no way that possibly happened.
Are we all going to ignore the 5-year gap between COVID and his last TV gig?
That's also a good point.
He was
Long
waiting for
before
the
COVID.
reboot of the arm wrestling league.
Right.
It's still coming.
And I'm pretty sure it's mostly over. So why is he not working now? Why can't you supplement your income with some entertainment
got a
gigs?
new job in
Isn't this show
January.
you've been doing the entire time an entertainment gig? It's just not working for you, but you never stopped.
Well, I can think of a subreddit you don't read, Rob, if you think the pandemic is over.
Yes, that's a good point. Zero COVID community. It's still keeping the dream alive that we should all be staying in our houses forever. John leaves the show, and Rob reminds us that he can't talk so good. This is a guy who claims to be a broadcaster.
I'm not willing to cater to people that are just people that that haven't been good to me, and I don't know, Neil. What am I trying to say?
I don't know either. You're the one trying to say it, so you have to tell us.
Try talking while a dog's licking your taint.
Okay, he might be distracted. I couldn't imagine being that bad at talking and thinking I should be a talk show host.
This is like closing time at the bar. Hey, Rob, why don't you finish that up and get an Uber?
You think I'm okay to drive?
I don't think you're okay to do anything.
Come on, man.
You want me to get an Uber?
Oh.
So then Rob just gets up and leaves, and Nasty Neal's not really sure why.
Gina Bobina was asking earlier what was my pornography of choice.
What was it?
Let's see here. I don't know. Like I like 8-bit pornography. So it looks like old NES graphics. Kind of my deal. Like a princess and Mario.
Rob's just taking his date into the other room.
Yeah, time to fuck the dog.
Okay. So this guy is going off on some weird thing about NES porn or something. And most of this show, especially when John leaves, is them reading free chats and just trying to keep something going. They have no chemistry together. They have nothing to talk about. So they're just hoping that they can read a chat and come up with something. And so when Rob comes back, he can't explain why he just got up abruptly and was gone for minutes.
Oh, here he is return. Here's return. Let's see, Gina Bobina, hilarious. Santa's balls. Final boss just put Santa's balls with a bunch of smiley faces.
Oh, wow. How dare him.
That's in reference to. Maybe he's just happy about Santa's balls.
Yeah.
Jay Warren, what do you think of Kelly Rutherford as an actor? I'm not sure who that is, honestly. I know I'm bad sometimes with names. Let me look
Why'd
that
you
up.
read it?
Welcome back, Rob. You okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Dog's not.
I'm just.
Does Vince the lawyer have your address? Does he ever send you anything?
Neil, why did you bail him out on that? Are you okay? Yeah, I'm good. I'm just,
Rob, you kind of trailed off there.
I know, but
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah, well, no, I'm fine. Just,
Okay.
The dog you walked
if we were
is
like
it still
directing-
alive, or is it in your freezer now? What happened?
He looks like he just saw a body or created a dead body and was now told to go back in the room, act like nothing happened, and continue your podcast. That's what you just saw. He couldn't stop looking over there. He's not present. I know there are moments where I've had too much to drink and I hear myself slurring a little bit and I'm like, oh shit, I sound like that. I think what we're seeing are large gaps where they have no idea. And he is waking up kind of mid-sentence and going, what were we talking about, Neil? And it's such a cycle of abuse the way John shits on him, so he has to shit on Neal, and it just goes round and round.
Yeah. It's interesting to me. I don't even have nightmares about being this bad because I know I can't possibly be this bad. But he does this all the time where he gets way too wasted. He can't talk normally, but he gets way too wasted and does these shit shows that are this embarrassing. It would take one of those for me to never do it again.
So he's not looking back at any of this when he's sober. Oh, he's never sober. Is that what you're saying?
I don't know. What's your take on this, Adam? You watched this episode.
He's blackout, drunk, pills, whatever it is.
But he's doing that on the internet. Now, remember, he privated this video, so he definitely was embarrassed.
He has some awareness. He's done this a few times. He's had a few drunk episodes that get privated like almost immediately. Like I've been watching some of them that just disappear as I'm watching them.
Yes, so I'm so glad I grabbed this in time. Thanks again to Peter Sprinkle for giving me a heads up on this because, this video is gone.
Which means that he still has at least an employer or one or two friends and family in his life that he doesn't want to see that. Because outside of that, he keeps saying the word family, right? And he keeps coming back to John. And John, for whatever reason, is a mentor or a bigger brother or a family figure. And John is showing him how to podcast. Right. And Rob is doing everything John does, from the losers to the attacking to the drunk. And he's just following what has worked for this successful guy, because he's found when he's out at the bar trying to talk to people and they say, what do you do? And he goes, I do a podcast. Everything he says after that, they stop listening. But sometimes when he says, and I do it with this guy from the Howard Stern show, the ears just kind of perk up for a second. And he doesn't want to lose that because it's all he's got. And so he's willing to completely debase himself like a court jester who will be murdered at the king's random whim any day now to, get by and maybe get some super chats. Because there's no show. There's no show here.
Again, Adam, brilliant insight. I didn't even think about this. Rob used to do a show with Bob Levy. And he's had Anthony Cumia on his show. And he's been able to say, I was on radio, I was a broadcaster, I've done shows with this person, that person. He doesn't want to let go of that. So now he's down to Stuttering John. And anyone who's not in the Dabbleverse knows who Stuttering John is and doesn't know how pathetic that is to be co-host with him. I think you're onto something there, my friend. Any final thoughts on this? I know it was a marathon. We probably went way too long with this segment, but these clips are fascinating to me. Christian, anything you picked up on?
Well, I was just thinking that watching Rob, the way that he keeps his eyes closed and, he doesn't stop moving, it's like for the most part, these things are fun. But then when you catch those glimpses of like, there's a real problem in this person's life, and I mean, he's still a terrible broadcaster. So it's
and a horrible person too, I would imagine.
Well, yeah, that's true. Yeah. Well, yeah, he did that. He did definitely celebrate a miscarriage, right? So let's never forget that.
The miscarriage of what would have been his only child sibling.
Yes, right.
He's also said the worst things he could possibly think of about my wife, and then goes, I don't know why people don't like me. I'm a very likable guy. He's such a garbage human.
And I think if Michael J. Fox watched like a minute of him, he would be like, could you just sit still? You're making me fucking nervous.
All right. With that, I have a very fun treat for us today.
Welcome to Pure Genuine, where we dive into authentic experience like never before. Yes, it's your host right here, Frenchie Hanna. Yes,
Frenchie Hanna just put something out that I have to share with you. Now, this beginning is
a dick pic?
You wish. This is something that only Frenchie could pull off to start a show that, to my knowledge, was not live streamed. There's no reason for this to be part of the show.
Welcome back to the Frenchie's World. Yes, it's me, Frenchie, and I'm back at it again with another video. A video for who? A video for you guys. Yes, my videos will always be for you guys. So, you guys, this brightness is really bright. Hold on.
So, let me just explain that Frenchie is standing in front of a window with daylight coming through. So the backlighting's probably not great, but Frenchie's going to figure this out.
Better? Can you see me? Come on, capture me. Boom. Okay, this is better. So, you guys. Oh my gosh, Hold on, you guys. I need to move everything.
John's house.
Yeah, I know. That closet looks like Stuttering John's house. It's an empty closet that's open. For
Are you almost done in there?
I got the studio at 4.
So
okay. So then
Can we get John in a content house?
Yes.
Oh my God.
That's a great idea. Write that down, producer Chris. Stuttering John Content House.
The real world.
I will message Chrissy Mayer after the show. Make that happen. Okay. So that's how this video starts, with Frenchie deciding to change their position and move the ring light and everything around. But this is a big deal for me. I'm happy that I'm sharing this with good friends of mine right now. And I want to thank my buddy Adam Thoreau.
So you guys, I want to say happy birthday to Carla. Yes, happy birthday. Enjoy. Make this birthday your best and many, many more birthdays to come. Yes, I'm so excited for you to see another birthday. Yes. Happy birthday to you, Carla. Many, many more. And I hope you succeed with your podcast and more successful things coming your way. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Carla. Happy birthday. So, you guys, what I'm going to be showing you guys is my 3,000 calorie diet. And
okay, that doesn't sound great. But thank you very much, Adam Thoreau, for getting me a shout out on Frenchie's show. Adam sent me a note. He goes, Carl, I know this is late. I reached out to her months ago. It's very difficult to get her to do anything, but she finally did it. So fantastic. Thank you, Adam. You've no one else knew the exact right gift to get me for my birthday, but Adam knew it, and I appreciate that.
You'd almost think that Frenchie could have created that as a separate video, or maybe just emailed it to Adam. But no, it's in the middle of her actual video. Yeah,
so
that's where
weird.
that belongs.
Yeah, the editing on this is so bizarre to me. That's why that whole thing where Frenchie's not sure where to stand in the room. Why was that left in the video?
Well, that's how much your birthday means to
in the first part.
her.
So then I guess we talk about her 3,000 calorie diet and gym workout, which is odd. It seems like too much to me.
3,000 calories is just breakfast, right?
Frenchie's not a fat person.
Oh, no, that's for me.
But also, well, okay, yes, for you.
That's what I wanted.
For us.
But also not like a super ripped buff person. Yeah, I don't know. I can't make it out. I don't know what's going on. 2024 is confusing for all of us, right? It's not just me. I hope.
Yeah. I did like the fanny pack, though. That's a good accessory for Frenchie.
It is good. All right. On the last episode, we played some song parodies. People sent in some great Christmas song parodies. Of course, last year we had the contest. We had some phenomenal ones. And Mr. Magenta wanted to get in on the action before Christmas happened. And so this is a song called John's Last Christmas from Mr. Magenta.
Last Christmas, I shit in your sheets. The very next day, my son said he's gay. This year, I'll die drinking beer and won't give gifts to my children. So bloated with drunk lies. Put on my girdle, pretend my body's nice. Tell me, my kids, do you recognize me? Well, it's been 10 years, it doesn't surprise me. You're a deadbeat. Susanna used to say it. Child support went to beer and coke, I spent it. Wow, it's true, what a fool I've been. But time to get drunk now and fuck it all up again. Last Christmas, I prank called my mom. The very next day, I blamed Lady K. This year, To save her from tears, I won't spill beer on the sofa. A face of a loser with a stroke in his heart. A man always yelling 'cause I am a retard. Retard. Now I found my real love. Guess what? It's Coors Light again.
Excellent job, Mr. Magenta. And I tasked producer Chris with something because we had some really great entries last year into the song parody contest. And it's Christmas again. So I thought, why not revisit some of those songs that were just fantastic? Why play them just one time?
Yeah.
What did you pick out, Chris?
Oh, it was so hard to narrow it down. And Mr. Magenta made the top, but let's do this little ditty that was actually a winner, a co-winner, because we had two winners.
Okay.
This is from Ben Hilton, and this is Stut Joe's Coming to Town in the style of
Bruce Springsteen. That was a great one.
It's all cold down in Rochester. The wind's whipping down at comedy at the Carlson. All you hotels ready for a drunken, disgusted slob to stay at your establishment or what?
Well, that's not many. Stutt Joe's in trouble out here.
Well, you better use shout, you better use tide, you better use bleach, I'm telling you why. John will turn your bedsheets to brown. John will turn your bedsheets to brown. John will turn your bedsheets to brown. He's taking a shit, he ain't gonna wipe. He's gonna leave you in some chocolatey stripes. John will turn your bedsheets to brown. John will turn your bedsheets to brown. John will turn your bedsheets to brown. He don't mind leaving skid marks. He don't mind leaving stains. And if he keeps treating girls no good, he's gonna end up accused of rape. He's gonna end up accused of rape. You better use shout, you better use tide, you better use bleach, I'm telling you why. John will turn your bedsheets to brown. John will turn your bedsheets to brown. John will turn your bedsheets to brown.
Oh, fantastic.
Wow.
Ben Hilton.
It was just a year ago. We were all excited. John was coming to Rochester Sunday, March the 10th.
That's right.
We were still, it was still on the calendar at that time, at Christmas last year.
Wait, was this before you wrote the classic Shit in the Sheets, Cardiff? Before you turned on him?
Probably, yes. I was still in John's camp.
Yeah,
yes.
At that time. So that was a fantastic entry. Just the Bruce Springsteen impression itself and the lyrics, everything about it, top notch. What else we got?
I feel like we have to play the other winner, which is amazing. Yeah. This is Tony Muskrat featuring a certain someone or something.
Y'all know that Opie has putrid skunk fart, and Zumach fucks black men, a real mud shark. But both of those losers are getting old. So pull up some cat shit and breathe in some mold. John Melendez, the drunken fool, grabs his sheets to wipe his stool. Sexually aggressive when he's drunk, wiping off his hemorrhoid blood. A stunt boy from Howard Stern, a bloated drunk that'll never learn. And now he's doxing people too, 'cause he's a piece of poo. Sometimes he's angry, sometimes he's horny, most days he's incoherent. And if you're a woman in Canoga Park, there might be a disappearance. John Melendez, the fucking creep, he doesn't sleep on any sheets. After admitting his hemorrhoid bleeds, he's not a human being.
Wow!
name's Tukey, your Christmas pal. John's apartment scared off Hal. Bathes himself in a shit canal, eating cans of puppy chow. Here's a game I like to play. Call John's mom on Christmas Day. I'm just kidding, that's not fun. She's embarrassed of her son. Whoa!
Sometimes he's spitting, sometimes he's farting. He's always fucking disgusting. And when he's sitting home alone, he doesn't call his kids because they have no relationship, because they're embarrassed by him, because he's a lolcow on the internet and he doesn't pay his mortgage or his child support and he's gay. John Melendez, the fucking prick. His liver's brown and full of ick. And before he melts away, Lady K is gonna pay.
Wow. That is
a lot.
A classic.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Legendary.
Puppets kick ass.
Great job by Tukey on that one. What else you got?
Oh,
I don't understand how they ever found instrumental tracks without the original chorus being sung in the background every time. I thought that it was impossible to find, right?
Yeah, no, that doesn't exist when John's trying to find it. Yes. Oh my gosh. I didn't even play it on this show when he was doing that song parody of, what was the
Drift
song?
Away?
Yes. He went through that song 4 or 5 times throughout the show. He kept coming back and performing it over and over again. I just figured we could play it the one time. But I was listening to Blind Mike on Sunday morning, and he found Doom made an edit of it where Doom took the music out, the one where he was getting drowned out by the chorus.
Right.
And you could just hear John singing, and he's still getting drowned out, but you don't hear what he's getting drowned out by. It's crazy.
All right. God, they're all so fucking good. But we're going to go to General GK with You're a Drunk One.
Oh, yeah.
The Grinch song.
Nice.
You're a mean one, Stuttering John. You really are a prick. You're despised by all your children. Your only friends are at Pickwick. Stuttering John. You're a bitter dabbler with a shriveled black heart. You're not funny, Stuttering John. Your jokes just plainly suck. You're the world's third worst comedian after Dat Fan and Zumak, Stuttering John. You haven't made anyone laugh since Jackie Martling stopped writing your jokes. You're repulsive, Stuttering John. Your condo smells like shit. Your disgusting odor's so bad it makes your roach roommates vomit, Stuttering John. Given the choice between living with you and suicide, I'd say, Kumia, where's your gun? You're a boozer, Stuttering John. Your liver soon to burst. You bought the president, of course, his first 3 mansions with your thirst, Stuttering John. The 3 words that best describe you are as follows, and I quote: drink, drank, drunk. You're delusional, Stuttering John. Your head is up, your rear. Your ego is so big, even Blind Mike can see it clear, Stuttering John. Your brain is an empty, muddled, and confused mess, incapable of producing a coherent thought, much less speaking coherently. You should run for president. Ouch. You're a loser, Stuttering John. You've tanked your whole career. Neither Howard or Jay Leno have returned your calls in years, Stuttering John. You're a narcissistic, degenerate asshole, and you are so ugly, you make Carl look hot.
That's why you didn't win. Who was that again?
General GK.
General GK, yes. Excellent job. Let's hear one more, and then Christian Blatt has some stuff for us.
All right.
To check out.
Here's a nice short one that gets very special mention from Adam Thoreau, just for the creativity of it, if not the delivery.
Nice.
And of course, that's the Carol of the Uz.
Yes, I'll be unwrapping gifts on Christmas morning to that song.
Thank God it's short. It gets a little disturbing after a while.
It's a little off-putting, for sure. Well, thanks again to everyone who participated last year and people who were sending in parody songs this year. Fantastic job. We always appreciate those. Because I'm a radio nerd. Christian Blatt, you asked to come on this show because you have something you have to get off your chest.
Yes, there's a
that stupid shirt.
Hey, that's part of it. Yeah, you're absolutely right. But I didn't want you to think that Adam Thoreau was the only one who realized just how important your birthday is to you and how much you like to celebrate it.
Right.
So I do have some video celebrations of you, and the first one I went out and procured this. It is, I know what a huge Star Wars fan you are. So I went and got this for you.
Oh, I forgot you could do that too.
Hey, Carl. This is so happy to be in here. It's a special day. It's a birthday. Happy birthday, Carl. Lisa celebrated Lisa turning 47. Oh, really, that's a big number. Just like the number of times Missa tripped over Missa feet. So, Carl, you used to live by two sayings, huh? May the force be with you, sir. Oh, Maxie big the force. Well, that's small stink with. And you used to also live by the saying, just do it. Do it. Do it. Yeah, I miss a love those.
Fuck you! There's another minute and a half of this, but that's all I'm going to show.
That's enough. Also, I'm 38, just so you know.
But I only put that in there to make Gary look stupid. There's a lot of different ways to do cameos, but I don't know if having some dust-off spray over your head with the laundry room clearly visible, I don't know if that really fits with the Jar Jar Binks character.
Right.
But
I don't remember that from the movies, yeah.
It must be the extended edition.
Okay.
So there was somebody on Cameo that I really wanted to get for you, but they were very expensive. So I came up with a creative way to try and have that person wish you well and share their thoughts for you.
Balin. Hi, KB. What would you recommend is the best way for me to tell a man who is married to another woman that I am in love with him on his 47th birthday?
Wow.
Hi, KB. What would you recommend is the best way for me to tell a man who is married to another woman that I am in love with him on his 47th birthday? Who's 47?
Are Chad's lips moving while KB is talking?
Yeah, he's trying to read it. Yeah, so KB is going to spend a lot of time trying to crack this super chat.
So
but
Balin
it is
Dupree
Balin Dupree.
is in love with me, is what I'm reading here.
Yeah, I paid for her to send the super chat to KB. I asked her to send it.
Oh, so she doesn't
on his 47th birthday.
No. She didn't know how to tell you. She sent this chat to me during the Blackcast, and I was like, you know what, Balin, let's figure out how to do this. Maybe KB will have some good advice.
Who's 47?
On his 47th birthday, so she's in love with another woman.
But it's she's in love with the guy, and he's going to be 47.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We were just watching, drunk people for a very long time. That was the drunkest response we've seen all show. Who's 47? That's the most irrelevant part of that sentence. What the fuck kind of response is that?
What did you do at the groceries?
Who's 47?
Hi, KB. Is this what you look like?
Starting again.
Hey. Hi, KB. What would you recommend is the best way for me to tell a man who is married to another woman that I'm in love with him on his phone? I would get him like a cake.
All right. Hey, Balin, I'm 49.
For now.
I would get a cake or like a strippergram or something. Does this help?
Yeah, I think that was good advice.
No, I would text them. First of all, you don't have to, if you tell him, if you're hot and you tell a man that you're in love with him, and even if he is married, I'm sure, who knows, but you don't have to be cute.
True.
Just show up, tell him you want to have like crazy sex with him.
Yep.
And again, he probably go, okay, how about my wife? She's like, well, she can come too. I don't know. I feel like there's a bit. Is this Pat Dixon?
Well, no, it's not Pat Dixon, but you did sniff out a bit. And you would just rather have the cake, Carl, right? You don't want her to show up and just have crazy sex with you. The cake would actually probably be the best move.
Yes, I just want the cake. I don't want to have crazy sex with a young, attractive woman with big tits.
Yeah. This took up on and off a better part of about 20 minutes of their show. And don't worry, I'm not playing all 20 minutes.
They were this perplexed over this $5 super chat.
They kept going back to it.
Okay.
And if it's you, why are you hooking up with a 47-year-old who's married? Just get a guy you can go get anybody you want. You get Derek Jeter.
Maybe it's
she's
Jermaine
hotter than Derek Jeter's wife. I don't like Derek Jeter's wife. I think she's kind of.
Derek Jeter's older
She actually
than me.
looks like his sister, which is weird.
Maybe it's Jermaine Dupri.
He went back to that joke.
Guy.
He tried that twice.
The Jermaine Dupri didn't land, but he's like, that's all right. KB just must have missed it. Let me get it in there.
Smart. Is that a? Yeah, I don't think so. I'm like obsessed with this. I want to crack this case.
I want to zoom in on her and see what she's wearing a Duke shirt.
Maybe she got raped at Duke. Remember that the lacrosse team?
Yeah, remember that? That's probably what happened, right?
Yeah.
She must have got...
Good comedy instincts right there from Kevin Brennan. The one thing I know about Duke is that gang rape.
Chad goes, yeah.
Yeah.
I
Which,
mean,
of
that
course,
is
didn't
probably-
happen, by the way. So it's...
Right. But it is probably pretty high up in his comedy Rolodex. It's
I
like, how can I get
imagine it
gang
is.
rape into
How do
this?
they not know world famous TLC reality show star Balin Dupree? Am I the only- am I the only
I
living in
can't
this
believe
world?
I'm saying this, but they're not creeps, Carl.
Well, I don't know about that.
I agree to disagree. I think they're both creeps.
Okay, Balin Debris. I don't know. Listen, I don't know. I don't, if you look like this, I wouldn't worry about anything. If this is fake, I mean, again, Gustav did not look like his picture. Flimsy Greenberg, he looked like Andy Cohen, or is that his name? So his Flimsy Greenberg, his picture of Andy Cohen, and he doesn't look like he's got a long beard, like he's a
I was
shooter.
gearing up the next one.
Oh,
So
okay.
all right.
I
I'm
like
good.
that we're watching Kevin Brennan work out in real time, that sometimes people's avatars are not what they actually look like. He's like, well, hold on a second. There's been a few examples where these people aren't actually the people that are in the photos.
Carlos, he's only been doing this a few years.
When they're chatting with us. I can think of this example and this example.
Yeah, if we had been doing this show live, there's a chance that Balin might have chatted during this show, but we'll just have to look at. KB's really trying to figure out who it is, though. It's like he's like, oh, I'm going to get to it.
So his Flimsy Greenberg, his picture of Andy Cohen, and he's doesn't look like he's got a long beard, like he's a Shuley or something. So I can't keep it straight. But if this is real, I wish you the best. Is it Ray DeVito? No, he's 50. I'm trying to figure out who might be 41.
Yeah, so apparently it's is it Ray DeVito? And I don't think Ray has it in him to put this together. So yeah, my buddy Liam McEnany comes in and basically ruins the fun that I'm having.
Thanks,
Liam's
Liam.
here.
Thanks for that.
Look up Balin.
Well, so that's Detroit says look up Balin Dupree dummies, but then Liam,
Say it is a bit.
Nothing gets past you.
Balin is a famous Tourette's TikToker. That's why I asked. I figured it was a Pat Dixon bit.
I'm insulted that you thought that this was Pat Dixon.
Okay, so the
I
whole
spent
thing's
$5 on this, Kevin.
I appreciate that.
Okay. I don't know. Like, I hate when people.
I can't keep up with everything.
Yeah, we're supposed to know TikTokers now.
And then this is a really short one. This is the way that the bit it really was 20 minutes of time. Wow. And the thing that worked for me is that KB got scared and took this episode down because Chad was on it. So I knew there was very little chance anybody was going to actually see it.
I don't even know. I gotta look up who's famous on TikTok. Can I just do my show?
No.
What is the show? You guys are doing 20 minutes because you have nothing else to talk about? on the dumb Balin Dupree bit that Christian Black got way more mileage out of than he ever could have imagined?
Well, yeah, I'm glad you pointed that out because the simple fact is I was going to do this on a number of shows because I thought I'd maybe get a minute out of it. I was ready to do it.
This is how Christmas bonuses are had at the WATP
And lost.
channel. This right here. This guy's going above and beyond.
I already spent my bonus on this. Jar Jar Binks wasn't free.
Reinvest in it.
I only went one other place where I actually tried this, and I'm glad Cardiff's here because I have a game that goes along with it.
Oh, great. Okay.
Balin Dupree with $5 says, Aaron, what would you recommend is the best way for me to tell a man who is married to another woman that I am in love with him on his 47th birthday? That's an oddly specific question.
So I want to play a game called What Does Aaron Say Next?
Okay.
Number 1, a blowjob.
Okay.
B, by any chance, is he married to a lawyer? Next, PayPal, Venmo, Streamlabs, Superchats, memberships, gifted memberships, and Rumble Rants. 4, have you tried talking to him? And lastly, cocaine.
Okay.
Does anybody have any ideas where Aaron might have gone with this?
What was B again?
By any chance, is he married to a lawyer?
That I'm going with B because Aaron just thinks everything is his little dumb world.
Cardiff, I'd like you to go next because you don't usually get to play the games.
I'm going to take 4, Christian.
Okay. Have you tried talking to him? Producer Chris, any thoughts?
I went lastly, cocaine.
Well, it's never a bad guess when it comes to Aaron Imholt. And Rob Saul. My apologies, Rob.
Whoa! Shots fired. What the fuck?
I should leave now. Adam Bush, my apologies.
a new low.
Wow.
You guys are going to look back and notice that Christian's been calling me Rob for about an hour and a half now. And no one has corrected him, and I won't. I'm just going to let him keep going. I'm actually very flattered. I can't look you in the eye, but I'm flattered.
What do you think?
That's all right.
What do you think the answer is, Rob? Shut up and just answer the question.
Yeah, well, I'm going to.
Well, let's
just losers.
Let's see if he's right.
Balin Dupree with $5 says, Aaron, what would you recommend is the best way for me to tell a man who is married to another woman that I am in love with him on his 47th birthday? That's an oddly specific question. Cocaine.
Oh, well done, producer Chris.
Sometimes the answer is the most. Oh, wait, there's a little bit here.
It's an oddly generic answer.
I'm trying to help.
Could be for anybody.
Yeah. We are $30 away from today. We're right there.
Of course we are.
If you want to finish it off, go ahead. Thank you to A-Train also for the $1 over on Venmo.
We count that as 68 cents.
Thank you to A-Train for the $1. And I have a big finish, Carl. Don't worry. Steel toe's not where I'm going to end this. Settle in. I definitely got my money's worth on my actual gift to you.
Oh, wow.
So this is where the fun begins. Yes, Carl, this song is for you.
Oh, please
it's
don't.
from your good friends, Christian and Eric. So here we go.
Eric had nothing to do with this.
Of course.
Carl, 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 yeah.
I love a
Is for all the kindness that you give. A is for all the amazing things that you've accomplished. R is for being a really great friend. L is
Really?
for all the love in your life.
That tracks.
Carl, you're one of a kind.
Definitely.
Carl's just a simple man trying to make his way in the universe. Carl's a go-getter on the job. He's certainly no slum. Urging everyone to just do it. Carl will never ever quit. Not just like the rest of us. Carl enjoys the Star Wars prequels.
I'm gonna pause it for a second. I may have told everyone that I may have used the phrase Carl loves the Star Wars prequels because those are the only good ones.
I
can't fucking take
it! The Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, Revenge of the Sith are things that bring him joy.
Those are the prequels. He's not wrong.
Relaxing at home. Carl knows that he will always win. He enjoys practicing the mandolin.
It's true.
Great instrument, by the way.
It is.
Now kicking back and sipping on a light beer. There is nothing to fear.
She got
After
you.
all, fear is the path to the dark side. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering. And Carl wants none of that.
It's from Star Wars, Nasty Neal, you dumb fuck.
Listening to some instrumental surf rock. Relaxing and just chilling.
So, how much did you pay for
I'm glad you asked. I spent $15 on Jar Jar Binks. This was $10.
Okay. She did all this for $10?
Yeah, and there's like 40 more seconds, Cardiff.
Jesus
Christ. It's $5 a note. You paid for 2 notes.
Well, not.
Yeah.
But sometimes in life,
it's a difficult scale.
Need a nap. Carl deserves all that for all the work that he does. He gets things done in a snap.
It stinks.
But not like Thanos.
I did not mention the Avengers. I didn't put any superhero bullshit in there. That's all on her. Christine Knowlton thought, like, oh, I'm going to make a Thanos reference. He'll love it.
Carl.
Shut the fuck up, asswipe, and suck my cock.
Carl. Hey, the force be with you, Carl.
You hit that last chord now.
That's fascinating. Please go on.
So, Adam, I was thinking the same thing. She doesn't know what melody is.
No.
She has no idea. You have to sing along
It's like
with the
when
roots.
you see like ancient religions and they're droning in a language you don't understand, and you know it means something to them, but to us it's just very repetitive.
Christian, I think what Carl's trying to say is thank you very much.
Yeah,
No,
Putting
I
that
know
together.
that. By the way, I've seen so many videos you've played of her. I've never seen her this made up. Like, this is the most presentable
hot
I've
for
ever
me,
seen.
yeah.
Yeah. She's definitely making sure you notice the cleavage, Carl. It's all right.
Amazing.
Well, I don't think that Balin Dupree was actually excited about me and wanting to get with me, but I do think I have a chance with Christine Knowlton based
I
on
think
that
you do
song
too.
that she wrote. So that's pretty sweet.
And Jar Jar would definitely do some mouth stuff.
Christian, thank you so much, buddy.
Oh, of course.
I
Happy to
appreciate
do it.
that.
I spent $30. It was money well spent.
It was money well spent.
But Balin was $130, and I'm like, I can't justify that. It's not going to be a good enough bit to spend that much on Balin.
No, not unless she starts swearing again.
Yeah.
That would be that. I'm only paying $130. If you're back to cunt nuggets,
all I got for this.
Happy birthday to you.
Oh,
Cunt nuggets.
There it is. John
There.
singing the sexy happy birthday song it's one of those things that you can't comprehend why he would think that was entertaining for anyone.
I couldn't catch it. I couldn't catch it today. What song did he say he sung to Kate Meany to fall asleep?
I haven't.
Lead on.
Oh, okay.
Lead.
All
Who's
right.
that by?
Let's get into this real quick. This is John. I know we're running late. I apologize. If you guys can hang, I hope you can. If you can't, I understand. We have to talk about John with Vince the lawyer here.
Go.
All right. This is questions about Kate's place because John spent the night over at Kate's apartment, and Vince is going to get to the bottom of this.
Go back then. You went to Kate's house after the strip club, right?
Kate's apartment.
Kate's apartment. When you got there, did you recognize that you had your phone?
That's when I knew I lost.
As soon as you got there?
Some point when we were.
So not really related, but what happened when you got back to Kate's house, apartment?
We we went to bed. I don't know.
You went right.
Said the guy telling the truth. We went to. That's what people do when they're hooking up, right? They go to bed.
Yeah.
Right to the bedroom.
Pretty much. I mean, I can't remember if we had some wine, but I think we went straight to bed. It was late.
What time about?
Probably like 1 or 2 in the morning.
Okay.
The tell right there. Probably about 1 or 2 in the morning. And I don't even know what parts of these are the lie. I just know it's all a lie. Like, I know he did spend the night at Kate's apartment. That part we know is true.
Also, John, if you're going to have the filter on like 95% on other streams, you can't just not have the filter the next day.
Yeah, I just
it makes it
forgot.
seem like you're being dishonest.
Yes.
And outside of the filter, I love just the joy and light we'd never seen before that was in his eyes when he was relaying this story to Clay. Even Clay was like, I've never seen you this happy ever about anything. And it took about how many hours for this to return? The L in the forehead, the absolute just fear, paranoia, tension. It's just, that's how long it lasted. You can give him the greatest gift in the world. It'll last about 24 hours before misery sets in again.
And let's remember, we witnessed him finding out his son got into Harvard.
Right, yes.
Oh, my God.
But I don't know why John thought he could come up with this lie about hooking up with Kate and it wouldn't lead to this specifically. Props to VTM for interrogating him. And John has no answers for any of this stuff. And that's why he looks so miserable right here, because he's like, oh, fuck, I am being found out right now.
Now, you had said something about her bed being...
No. I'm not talking about that. Please, do me a favor. Some things I tell you privately. Anything that I've told you, that's private. Please, can we keep it that way?
Well, we really...
Why does he keep stepping on this specific rake? This rake is right outside of his doorstep, and he just steps on it every day. Why does he send details, personal details to Vince, and then is surprised when Vince brings it up? So what Vince is referring to here is the fact that John said Kate's bed didn't have any sheets on it and had blood stains on it. And it was just a mattress on the floor. And so this is what Vince is referring to. And now John's like, listen, I'm going to pretend I banged this girl, but I don't want to embarrass her. That's a step too far.
Carl, when I think about the stories he's told us about his kids and the things he's admitted that even have nothing to do with him, that's just like, hey, my kid did this.
Yeah.
Let me just share something about them. And the effort he's putting into protecting Kate. Like he normally lets Vince at least finish while he does his blah, 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 blah. Now he is shutting him up. He's like, you don't fuck with this.
Interesting.
This is
You're
not
right.
about super chats. This is true love.
Yeah, let's see if you read super chats. Let's see if you read super chats from a character called Kate's bloody mattress on the floor. I bet he
Kate's bloody
won't.
mattress on the floor. Yeah. He won't rush through it.
Even the $10 ones, even the $9.99 ones, he won't?
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, sure, no problem. I don't think we talked about...
No. I just don't want to...
All right, fair enough. Did you hook up with
Anything
her?
I told you that was something that
I don't know. I was out of it, John. I've
All
been
right,
out
just
of...
please don't... All right, anything I told you...
I'm asking
before,
you the questions. Did
just
you hook
ask
up
me
with her?
first, But anything I told you on the phone, like that I told you, like, when I was at the Verizon store, please let's just keep that confidential for right now.
All right, I will just ask questions.
That's why I
Did
called you before, because I knew you were going to do shit like this. I don't want anything revealed about anything that I told you.
Well, I got some more information from this person. I'm going to ask you about it, and hopefully we can figure out exactly what happened. So after you left the strip club, you went back to Kate's house. Did you hook up with her at her house?
Good question.
See, now look, this is Baby Fatso just tweeted this out.
Wait. There's a tweet from Chad? Well, then don't answer the question. Let's get right onto that. This is such an obvious tactic that John's trying to utilize here.
And I love that Vince said, I was out of it. Nothing you can say, because he knows that's John's excuse for everything. I was half in the bag. I'm not responsible for anything I say or do. So you accuse me of something, I was out of it. What are you going to say?
Yeah.
Get this tweet over to Stuttering John. I know you're going to go into the police to file a report today. Can you let them know Pinky and I hired not just one, but 2 PIs to follow?
Yeah, John, I don't get distracted by them. So far, they have nothing to do with this. You're at Kate's house, her apartment. Did you hook up with her there?
Good question.
Still a good
It
question.
doesn't matter, Vince. Well, why do you care?
No, I'm just curious because I'm a Yent.
Okay, let me explain this to John yet again. The reason why we care is because you're implying that you did. And it's a shitty thing to do to hang out with a chick that everyone knows who she is. She's a part of the Dabbleverse. She has an internet presence, or had. And for John to say, yeah, we had a great time. I spent the night, didn't leave till the afternoon the next day. Like, all these things are...
John, put your eyebrows down.
Yeah, right. He's like Millhouse. All these things are implying that he slept with her. And so I think it's a fair question from the attorney here.
It's a yes or no question.
Did you hook up with her or not? Why do you care?
John thinks he's allowed to ask his political guests if they've ever done anal.
Yeah,
but this
right.
is too far for him.
Exactly.
It's a great point.
You fucking Noel Castler?
Yeah.
I'm curious.
I was just curious to the story of the phones. I thought we were going to stay on topic here.
So John wants to bring it back to, and the whole conversation is about John getting his phone stolen. And then, we find out, I don't know if we're going to have the clip or not, but we find out because I mentioned on Point Dabble Point that John went to find my device, which you can do. I know his things are connected because when you text him, it hits all of the pings and everything like that. So all of his devices are connected. You can go to your MacBook, find my device, find out where your phone is, your iPad and everything else. John lets it out that he was on the phone with Apple. And they're like, yeah, your phone's in Ithaca, New York. So he had to call someone. He's so old-fashioned. He had to call someone to find out his phone is located in Ithaca. And he's claiming it was stolen. The person who stole it's looking for tons of money in order to send it to whoever wants it. So John's like, why are we talking about me fucking this 25-year-old that I've been bragging about all weekend when we could be talking about my stolen phone?
Oh, we didn't agree to anything. I don't know what happened. I think this is...
No, everything is fake. The picture, the kiss is all AI. We didn't do anything.
I was wrong. I had said to you this is AI.
No, you were right.
I was
Everything's
wrong.
fake. We didn't do
I said
anything.
I was wrong.
We didn't do anything. Don't worry about it.
All right, so you hooked up with her. I don't give a shit. I mean, did you have sex with her?
It doesn't matter. No, we didn't do anything.
That I believe. That's the part that I believe. In case you're wondering what John's referring to, it is this photo right here. And my wife is still mad. She just saw this today on Point Dabble Point. She's still mad at Kate for this photo right here of those two smooching.
By the way, if any of us haven't sent out our Christmas cards yet, this might be the thing to rush over to Snapfish and see if they can get it back to you overnight.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
It's going to be a great show if we're not going to get any information out.
I thought we had a ton of other things to talk about.
This is the biggest news going on in your life ever. You hooked up with a 24-year-old. I was wrong about you even doing it.
How dare you? I'm not a creep.
You had previously told me that you would never hook up with someone that is younger than your oldest child. What happened?
You pause it, Carl?
Yeah. That's a great question, too. What happened? What do you think, Cardiff?
Well, no. It's the screaming at she's 25 now.
Mm-hmm.
He's making it like she got older and he did not age a year from a year ago when he said it was creepy.
That's what he loves about these high school girls. They get older, he stays the same age. All right.
I don't think that's the phrase.
Well, no, I'm pretty sure that's how it goes.
Okay.
You don't even like that movie, Carl.
John's like, I'm from the Howard Stern show. I'm just not comfortable or used to trying to do a regular interview and being pressed by all of these sexual questions. It's just not something I'm familiar with. And how dare you, Vince, when I'm trying to tell a very innocent story about a 60-year-old man, a 25-year-old girl, and two phones that went missing.
And
Can
a
we please stay on
cocaine-fueled
topic?
sex romp. That's a great point because John will say inappropriate things to his guests, as we were just talking about, and he'll say, listen, I learned from Howard Stern. I was on the Howard Stern for 15 years. This is how I learned how to do this sort of thing. And then Vince, who's a Howard Stern super fan, also learned from Howard Stern. Mm-hmm. Did you hook up? What'd you do? What's going on? Mm-hmm. I don't like this line of questioning all of a sudden when he's the one under fire.
Yeah, John also told Pat Dixon that everything he does is performative and Andy Kaufman-esque. But then in the same breath, he says, I was told directly from Howard Stern, be yourself. talk about your day.
Right.
Just be honest. Which one is it?
Yeah, which one is it? Because it is all performative. That's why we don't think IRL streaming, while it would be great if he could do it, we don't think he can pull it off because he's always performing when he knows a camera is on. We don't get to see the real John Melendez, except for when he's wasted, which is why I really enjoyed that Rob Saul show that we looked at earlier.
That was pretty cool.
When we started talking for the second time around, not the first time. The first time, I stuck to that fact. I was interested in Kristen Carney. Yeah, that's a fact, Jack. And Kate
says the guy who's not lying. I only saw it when I'm lying.
It's a fucking capo.
Yeah.
I think he forgot that I think he forgot we've heard those calls that would end with him saying, "I love you."
Yeah, when we get married, we're gonna go to the beach and down to the Keys, Epstein Island. I forget all the places he wanted to take her, but some crazy places.
Epstein Island is nice this time of year.
All times of
That's
year.
what they tell me.
But
that's where the women stay the same age, Christian. If you want to go back to that.
When we started talking, and she apologized profusely, and felt so bad, and then we started talking and laughing, and it became, a very, I don't know, like it was like we were, like it was.
No, we
I
don't
know
know.
it seems bizarre, but it was like we were falling in love. It was crazy.
Oh no! You did not just say that. This is going to be so much more embarrassing when these tapes come out, this next round of Kate secretly recording everything that's going on. It's going to be so
I keep
much
thinking
worse.
this is secret. He's okay with saying this.
We're falling in love. I didn't want to sleep with her before. I promised I wouldn't, but now we're in love. So what are you going to do?
And he's so sincere. He was telling Clay earlier when he was first busting out with the story, he couldn't stop forgiving everyone. He actually said to Clay, he's like, I'm not even thinking about the Shitwaya or Pinky or any of those people because he was so in love suddenly. And he started talking about Catholicism and forgiveness and how that's always been a huge part of him. It lasted about 24 hours, but he meant it. When he has just the slightest win or even perceived win in his life that he can claim to others is substantial, suddenly all these enemies aren't so bad. Suddenly everything that's happening to him isn't so bad. Suddenly he can see past all of it when he just gets the tiniest bit of love.
Sleeping with Kate is like owning 3 boats. He was excited about the boat. He couldn't wait to drop that news. But this was way beyond that. Sleeping
It's
over an
not
apartment.
even what he's done. It's just that there's pictures. He wouldn't want to do, if he had to choose between the experience and the pictures, he would pick the pictures because the pictures affect all of us and all of his perceived enemies. I just wish we all could have gotten together before he dropped this and said, whenever that picture gets released, let's all just say, oh, that's like your student. That was AI. It's definitely AI. We don't believe it.
Right.
And just moved on and not giving him any attention.
Yeah, he would have
right?
lost his mind over that. But Adam, I don't know if you saw this. In Dabblers Anonymous, there was a poll out. Would John have rather to have actually gotten laid and no one knew?
Oh, wow.
Or would he rather he didn't get laid, people think he did? That
And
really,
who
that's
won,
all
you know?
you need to know about this guy. He'd much rather have people think that he got laid.
Mm-hmm.
Less venereal disease too, by the way.
Yeah.
A lot of upside on people just think you did it.
He was really invested in getting those pictures. Dustin, or whatever your name is, can you get me those pictures somehow? How? You don't have your phone.
But again, what Adam's point takes me right back to where my initial thoughts on this when the pictures came out, when Chad put the picture out. The story that Chad got and leaked out is the exact story John would want out there.
Yes.
Which leads me to believe that none of it is real.
Oh, I think it's all real. I think that. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Here's what happened. John and Kate met up at the Mexican restaurant. I believe that. John was drunk already. Kate didn't have much of an appetite. They go meet up with their friends at another bar. They go to a strip club. They score a blow. John has no money for it. The bouncers kick him out because he has no money, and the beers are $15 a piece. And he really wants to drink those beers. They go back to Kate's apartment, and it's John and Kate and a whole mess of people who want to stay up doing blow all night. John slept on a chair somewhere. He didn't even get the couch. He wasn't even close to the couch for this. Got nowhere near Kate, and woke up the next morning hoping something would happen. Hung around as long as he could till finally it got awkward. Kate's like, "Look, I got shit to do. Can you get the fuck out of here?" That's what I think happened. What do you think, Cardiff? Am I crazy?
I don't know. I almost think like Kate's in on it in the fact like let's convince the world we're together, we're in love. Let's take these pictures of us kissing.
Yeah.
Let's get them to Chad. Let's get all this out there. But yeah, you're probably right about the other stuff.
But no, you're right. That's a good point. I forget about that part, that there's a side of Kate that really wants this kind of attention and likes people talking about her and her being involved in it. And so, yeah, this was part of her strategy. I'll go out with John Melendez and we'll make a huge splash in the Dabbleverse. That's all anyone will be talking about.
Because the story Chad's told of a PI that was staking them out all night is just stupid enough that Kate and John came up with.
Oh, I don't think they came up with that. I think that one of Kate's friends, because John talked about it, we talked about it on Dabble Point today. One of Kate's friends is interested in John because of the Dabbleverse and took photos and leaked that all to Chad directly, knowing that TM Zumach is the place to leak this information and get it out of MLC.
Do you think it was Kate's hot friend Emily or hot friend Emily's hot mother? Who do you think
or
leaked the
Emma's
photo?
mom, right? Yeah. That was some weird crew they had doing blow and go to strip clubs.
It just, I don't know. It just seems like a Page 6 story. Oh, John Melendez has a huge penis. Yeah, I wonder where that rumor came from, right? Like,
I know what you mean.
I think a mistake that intelligent people make is in assuming that there are, planned reasons and motives behind the things that people do. And sometimes it's just a feeling, or it's just random, or I know it'll get me some attention in the Dabbleverse. I know I'm lonely tonight. I know I feel bad about what I did, whatever it was. I don't think there's a big meaning behind it. I don't think, I think it just happened. I think Clay likes hanging out with John. I think Kate likes older men, and all of that is okay. Maybe Clay likes getting beat up a little bit. Maybe Kate has a thing where she likes this sort of thing. It's everybody's right to do whatever they want. The only thing that's clear is that Clay and Kate are getting whatever they need out of this, and John is delusional. Because what we really learned, which is very revealing to me from this experience, is that John doesn't know where anything in New York City is.
Yeah.
And that's fucking crazy. He doesn't know where Grand Central is. And this Mexican restaurant he's talking about is on 34th and 8th.
Yeah.
You know what's also on 34th and 8th? The entrance to the Long Island Railroad to go back to Long Island, which means his favorite restaurant in town that he had to book a day in advance is one block away from the train. So you're not really exploring the city very much. You haven't gone past, Penn Station, which is remarkable for a 60-year-old man.
When they're talking about the strip club, Vince asks him, "Oh, there's two locations. Is the one Midtown or downtown?" And John goes, Here's the difference between Midtown and downtown? I know that. I've never worked in Manhattan. It's crazy. He really is so sheltered.
I think the reality is much closer to the way you described it, Carl. And of everything that John said, there's probably only the one detail that's real, that wherever he slept that night, it was stained in blood. I think it was a chair, like you said, but there was definitely a blood stain in the morning.
How embarrassing for Kate. That I stained her chair all bloody.
That's not bizarre at all, John. Obviously, she's got major daddy issues, which is great for you. I mean, you're an older guy.
I wouldn't say that.
Well, John, if your dad was gay, you're going to have issues unless you're super strong mentally.
Well, Devin and Alexandra's dad is gay, and
exactly, and expect them to have major issues.
Well, put it this way:
John actually got mad just now.
Yeah,
he's like, "You're saying mean things about my girlfriend."
Yes,
and that's not cool. I'm going to put my foot down right now. You're gay.
And what he's saying is a known fact that Kevin Meaney was gay.
Right.
He was an espresso martini.
the subtle implication that it was something other than charm and good looks that got him this attention.
Well, right, yeah, that's the other thing too. But I'm the Duke. That's why she likes me. Oh, okay, yeah, no, that's it. You're right.
No, she has to be broken inside. That's the only way this works.
The person that is, because I see so many super chats.
Not that many.
But the person. What happened was in the morning.
Yeah.
Kate called one of her friends, who she thought was a friend, and this friend is the one that's spilling all this information, who is involved with this theft.
Now, can you pause it?
Yeah.
She called her friend in the morning, but her phone was stolen.
Good point. Kate didn't have her phone the next day. Oh, I think he goes on to explain that she FaceTimed on her computer. I think Vince asked that question as well. So, okay, so let's get back to the phone things. So John is claiming that one of the guys they're hanging out with, a tall guy, so probably 5'8" or above, one of the guys they were hanging out with stole his phone, Kate's phone, and John's friend / brother-in-law's phone. And then Vince offers up a theory. He's like, what if Kate stole your phone? What if Kate's actually the mastermind behind all of this? And he starts putting a little doubt in John's mind about, oh shit, whose side is she on? She wasn't on my side before. She was working against me. She was working with Shuli. So this is fun.
I'm out. What do you mean? She went through his phone. She probably copy and pasted all his texts to his kids and all that shit. Oh, how'd she get the password? So that's what I asked her. It was open at first because he put his phone down and then she watched him enter it.
See John's face? Okay, what Vince is doing right now is he's reading a text exchange he's having with someone he doesn't know who he is, but a person who claims he knows everything about this phone and Kate and the night, and claiming that Kate stole the phone and how she was able to do this. And I got to back that up. Look at John's face as he's processing, like, could that have happened? This seems like a potential reality to John.
And then she watched him enter it.
I mean, the only way that could have been possible is when I was sober at El Parador, and we were our arms, as you can see by the pictures, we were all over each other. There wasn't any. I wasn't putting any passcodes in my fucking phone.
John is claiming, and they met up at the Mexican restaurant, and John was sober. They were all over each other.
It's ridiculous.
They would kick him out. Right. This is disgusting. Get the fuck out. People are trying to eat dinner right now. This is disturbing what you're doing.
Hey, sir, you've eaten 4 nachos and you've ordered an appetizer. Please get out.
You're drooling all over this poor lady's face.
Let's be honest. His passcode is 6969. Let's move on. It wasn't that hard.
Good point.
You can tell that their hands were all over each other by the 2 photos, one of which where she's kissing him on the cheek.
Yes.
That one might imply it, but yeah, that one. Yeah, look at them. Oh my God. How could she resist that?
You know how I know that you're right, Cardiff, that his passcode is 6969?
Look, the Duke's always been horny. The Duke is very horny. I mean, overwhelming.
What a charmer. Could you imagine if I'm talking to a friend of mine, I'm just like, dude, I'm fucking horny, man. I am so goddamn horny. You can't believe how fucking horny I am. It's wild.
Hello?
I was busy fucking paying attention to my date.
Obviously, that's why there's a chance maybe.
I don't look, I don't think, look, after what happened with the taping and the phone calls,
right.
I mean, is she capable of doing something?
Yeah.
Has she done something like that in the past? Yes, but I don't think she stole my phone. I think this guy's just full of shit.
And also, would I be so gullible that I'd fall for the same thing twice? Yeah. I mean, come on. Stepping on the rake.
What's brilliant that's happening right here is that this was a win for John because he thought it took away the embarrassment of the previous situation. Mm-hmm. He thinks this negates that because in his mind, it does. It's all worth it. I'm the winner. I'm the Duke. Vince right now is slowly chipping away at that, and it's starting to work, and you're starting to see it, and all the joy is gone, and the hatred and the anger at all of us and everyone else is slowly coming back, and he's starting to realize what's going to happen, because his argument against it is, I don't think she would, even though, you know, mathematically, scientifically, politically, culturally, everything would tell me, oh, she's going to do it again. But I just don't think so. And I'm going with my gut on this one, Vince, the evil lawyer.
Is there strong evidence that she's done it in the past and she'll do it again? Of course there is, but I doubt it. Not this time.
And I'm pretty sure that his password is John. It's John. I'm pretty sure.
So he doesn't forget.
Shit.
Okay, said phone wasn't dead. That's just you trying to squirm out of it.
Vince, I swear on my life, because
You don't have to tell me, John. I'm just telling you what he wrote me.
Kate will attest to this. When I tried to get on my phone, it was dead. She was with me when it was dead. And the other thing I'll tell you is, so let's get this straight for a second, Vince. Now, I'm going to try and ask you to use your Columbia brain. Okay? If my friend's phone was stolen, and we found the guy that stole his, which was a man, why then are we going to then jump that there's two perpetrators? The guy stealing my friend's phone, and then Kate's phone was definitely stolen, and I know that's as a fact. And then my phone is stolen, and then somehow this guy's alleging that the only phone Kate stole was mine. She didn't steal her own, and she didn't steal my friend's. So
she didn't steal her own. You're really cracking the case, John. Yeah, good point.
Maybe it's just as simple as Kate didn't want your friend's phone, your brother-in-law's phone. She only wanted your phone, and her phone is not stolen. She hid it,
right?
And so this guy in Ithaca's got your friend's phone. That's it.
Or maybe everything in life is not some kind of Star Wars, Joseph Campbell, Power of One absolute. And he's just saying, maybe Kate knows a little more than she's letting on.
Right.
Can we agree with that, John?
Yes.
Or is that too much for you?
Yep.
For, again, my hypothesis is this guy's just trying to put it on Kate.
Well, this is the guy that you're claiming has the information.
Kate, as you text me right now, did you steal my phone? I'll believe you.
Send her a text. Let's talk to her.
Kate mean he didn't steal the phone like Charles Manson didn't kill those people.
Right. Yes. Good point. Kate is actively texting him, and he goes, text me whether or not you stole my phone, and I'll believe you. What a waste of time.
With children, you don't say like Vince
Yes.
is like, I think this woman's stealing from you. You're like, I can produce her and have her tell you that's full of shit.
Right.
Case closed.
Yes.
But
not how this
Kate,
works.
just text me. I don't believe you did. So did you steal my phone? It's a simple question.
Oh, fuck, John, you got me. No, all right, well, you were right, Vince.
I believe you.
I believe you.
Kate said she didn't steal it, but she did write a book called If I Stole It, and it explained how she would have stolen it.
It's not a compound question, is it, Vincey?
No, it's a beautiful question. The only thing is, John, she could obviously misrepresent the answer to you. So just because your friend's phone was stolen doesn't mean that that same person stole your phone.
Of course not, Vince. And just because, and just because.
Yeah, come up with an example, John. Here you go.
Lindsay,
I get what you're saying, John. It's an indicator, but it's not 100%.
all right, so if the same guy kills 10 people.
I want to know where he was going with Lindsay Lohan.
Yeah, who is she going to kill?
That's a good question. Just her career. So I think she's doing. So now Vince starts asking him, so your phone has been stolen by a guy who can activate it and get into it, according to everything that we know or John knows. Is there anything incriminating in this phone that's going to be embarrassing for John?
Are you upset at all? Anything on the phone can be incriminating to you?
Not incriminating, no.
Anything that's embarrassing that we wouldn't know about?
I don't know. I mean, how would I know?
Well, it's your phone.
How would I know? Well, because you know all the bullshit you put out into the world, and you know reality. So what's the part that's reality that's going to embarrass you? How would I know?
And for those of you just listening, John waited for the question to finish, then took a giant sip from a cup of tea and then just like swirled it around his mouth while he was thinking, waited for Vince to finish, then took some time to swallow and then came back with nothing.
Right.
By the way, that might be a coffee or tea mug, but I'm sure that there was probably some grain alcohol in there.
It could be Irish coffee. We don't know.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Like what?
Naked pictures, your porn sites that you visited, all that stuff. Emails to family.
Looking up. Let me think. Porn.
Comedy of threes. Emails to family that go unanswered multiple times, maybe something like that. I don't care what porn sites John goes to. I don't give a shit about that.
Well, how would he get into an email?
Wouldn't they just open up the phone and see your email there?
How would you get into an email? Now, this is crazy, guys. If you are on my phone and you have it open, I have this app called Gmail. It's got all my email right there. And then we can just touch that.
An app?
Yeah,
What's an app?
Yeah. Like this whole screen is just full of apps, and anyone can just touch that app, and it opens right up.
You go into Safari and you type Gmail.
No.
Nobody can crack that code, Carl.
There's this new thing where you can actually just download apps to your phone. Like one of them is email. I have one that's a calendar. You just go into that.
Like Candy Crush.
I have that too. But you just go into that.
So you're saying all these pictures on the phone, these are all appetizers? Is that what you're trying to have me believe?
They'd have to log into my Gmail.
They'd have to log into my Gmail. So this is old man opening Safari and going to Gmail because he doesn't know how to use an app. Or he's this stupid. I don't know. It's hard to tell.
If he is logging into his Gmail every single time, you know how simple his password. It's got to be password 3 at this point.
JOHN69. I think everybody's right.
And it would explain why he's so angry all the time. Imagine if you have to go through that process every single time you want to check something on your phone, typing that small little thing in and doing the CAPTCHA.
Right. My buddy David Collins. I text with him from time to time. He was just on the show recently. And I sent out the YouTube link to you and him of the video, and I forget he has a flip phone. He's still doing that thing where if you want to type in an M, you have to hit 5 3 times.
Oh.
he's got one of those types of phones. Like, I forget that it's frustrating for him to send text messages. I'm like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to make you text. I'll just email you next time. That's like what John's going through every time he has to open up his email.
Wait, I just realized I don't think he's ever looked at email on his phone.
Oh.
I think that's only on his laptop.
That's interesting.
Holy shit. He's like, how would they get my email? All they have is
What
my
are you talking
phone.
about, Vince? Yeah.
Oh,
This is
wow.
foreign to him. Email on his phone is foreign to him.
And, okay, the funniest part about that is that John worked for NBC up until 2014.
Yeah.
So everyone in 2014 was getting email. If you worked a corporate job, you got email on your phone. You responded to people from your phone when you weren't in the office.
Carl, you forgot he lost his NBC phone on his Harley.
Did he really?
Yes, he did.
Of course he did. Holy shit.
But he
John
told
doesn't
everyone
know.
on the first day this would happen.
Yes,
It's
I'm gonna
not
be
his
bad.
fault. He warned them.
I'm going to be bad at stuff. It's going to take me a long time to learn stuff. This is crazy. John doesn't know you can get email on your phone. Wow. You're right, Cardiff. You just cracked the case. What would they find on my phone? I don't know. Everything you've ever communicated to anyone ever? How would they know that?
Well, I'm sure everything's saved in there.
I don't know, Vince, but I mean,
I don't know.
just
Who
pay
can
this
tell?
guy for the phone.
Oh, so this is the other thing. Vince is claiming this guy, and I've seen the text threads between this guy and Vince. He sent them to me. But he's claiming this guy is saying he wants $10,000 for John's phone. And so Vince has responded with, well, show me evidence that you have John's phone. I'm not just going to put $10,000 somewhere and wait for you to
wire it to you.
Right. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. And now John's going, yeah, but dude, why don't you just give him the $10,000 and get my phone back? Because John thinks, like any poor person, that rich people just spend money on nonsense because they're rich. No. You get rich by doing just the opposite of that. But okay.
He didn't really make that offer, John. He was saying, like, he'd get it to me, not that he actually had it. I actually asked him for proof of life, sort of like the Gary puppet. Like, do you have a picture of John's phone? Because I would pay for it for you to get it back.
Yeah, I know. So pay for it, and you know, I'll.
Are you listening?
You know.
So once you found out that your phone was missing, what'd you do?
Freaked out. But that's something like why then when I was on the phone with Apple, it was in Ithaca.
That's the thing. You had to call Apple to find out where his phone is. Something that you could just easily do on your computer or any other device that you have.
It's just like when you call Google to find out what the weather's going to be that day. It's the same thing.
Movie phone to see if there's any movies playing. Sure.
So if it was Kate that had it, how did it get to Ithaca? You know, like that's. I mean, you know, she didn't have a car.
Yeah. Answer that, Vince. If Kate stole the phone, then why is it in Ithaca? What, does she know someone who could possibly go to Ithaca? I guess.
Yeah, I don't know, John. Was anyone there with her in college or live in upstate New York?
I mean, I don't know where they would live.
You don't know where they would live? It may be in a house or an apartment. Or
Knows where everybody lives.
It's a college town. People figure it out somehow. Would they get a teepee or some kind of hut and start a fire? What are we talking about? How would they even?
You know,
would you agree at least there's a probability that Kate potentially stole your phone?
Oh, this is a great question. Is there a possibility that Kate stole your phone? A very telling answer right here out of John, because he's processing all of these questions and thinking through these different scenarios. And he wouldn't have said this at the beginning of the show, but now we're 37 minutes in.
I think I've asked her. She denies it. So, I mean,
He's asked her.
He thinks he asked her.
He asked her if she stole his phone. Now, I don't know a lot about stealing people's property because I don't do it. But if I were to do it and someone asked me if I did it, I would say I didn't. Because I'm already a thief. I might as well be a liar. I cannot tell a lie. Yes, I did steal your phone.
Otherwise, you would suck as a thief.
I'd be the worst thief ever if that were the case.
Just destroyed your credibility, Carl.
I know.
John, the reason these shows exist is because for the last couple years, you have prided yourself on being a master interrogator. Mm-hmm. You look at the classic lawyer scenes in cinema and you go, I can do that.
Yep.
You look at actual interrogations on YouTube and you're like, I can do that. And then when presented with it in real life, you're like, Vince, I asked her if she did it. She said no. What else do you want me to do?
John, do you ever lie about stuff? Yeah, all the time. What's your point?
But I have reasons. There are reasons I do it. Why would she take my phone? I can't even think of a reason why.
This is interesting.
I mean, there's a probability. Everything's a probability. I mean, anything could have been true. But, you know, say Squatro 6 and, you know.
Oh, now he's starting to dox the phone number. This is the phone number doxing that he does, that he thinks he's so creative and interesting with this shit. Isn't that interesting, though, that he just goes, well, yeah, I guess anything is possible. We were just playing clips a little while ago where it's just like, well, Kate didn't do it. We know this other guy did it. Now all of a sudden he's just like working through all the different scenarios.
This guy Jeff, you know.
Sorry, did you hear him when he was doing it on his dark show?
No.
I think it was yesterday.
Oh, yeah, I did listen to it, yeah.
He was singing in Spanish, seis, uno, three.
He didn't know Trace.
Trace is a tough one. That's a tough one.
Puerto Rican didn't know
what is it,
three.
the 8th day of Christmas to you know, I don't know. I have 9 pimples on my back, and then
What are we doing? Giving out his phone number in a coy manner?
8 watts and 964. What? No, I have all these pimples on. No, I'm only kidding. They're really just little bumps from eczema.
Let's say you're giving out someone's phone number. Why do you have animosity towards that person?
Yeah.
This is the person that Kate. Now, here's the other thing. When Kate called this person in the morning, well, in the afternoon, because we didn't get out of bed till 1 o'clock. But when she talked to this person, it was on FaceTime on her computer, like she didn't have a phone.
There's your proof right there. She was pretending she didn't have a phone, and she kept that up the whole time. She didn't slip up and go, oh, I'll just give him a call. Oh, fuck! Where did this come from? There's your proof.
Now you could go, well, that was that was a guise to make it appear that she doesn't have a phone.
Yeah, I think I just did that, actually. Now I think about it. Good call, John.
But I will tell you that then all of our conversations after that were all, through her through her FaceTime.
So if that was a guy's, then she kept it up. Oh wait, actually doesn't help prove my case at all. Never mind, Vince. You might be onto something here.
Okay. So look, if she stole the phone, John, man, that's a huge deal. I don't think she did, but I don't have any proof to say one way or another.
Well, I thought that she did.
Whoa! How did we get here?
I'll tell you how. It's really great. Vince is so good. He's the only one who does this. He is comfortable sitting in silence.
Yes.
John cannot do it, even for a second. So when you present John with just a touch of silence and you sit there and you wait, I killed the clerk. He can't help, but he can't have it. He has to.
It is a technique for interrogation.
Mm-hmm. And Rob doesn't provide that. Clay won't provide that. They're background noise. They're constant. If you just let him sit with it, all lies will out.
I love that. He started with he lost his phone. That was the next day. And then all of a sudden it was stolen, and he's got all this evidence. He knows who it is, and he's doxing this Jeffrey guy, and he can't wait. And then Vince goes, do you think maybe Kay stole your phone? He's like, that's what I thought. I got to back that up. That's crazy right there. I can't believe we got here this quickly on this episode.
So look, if she stole the phone, John, man, that's a huge deal. I don't think she did, but I don't have any proof to say one way or another.
Well, I thought that she did. In fact, I asked her to go. Through her pocketbook, and
look at how happy Vince is with them. So it's like, that's what I wanted to have happen.
It was all worth it.
We did it. We got there. Now he's saying that he thought that she did and asked her to go through her pocketbook.
That she did. In fact, I asked her to go. Through her pocketbook, and she had a very tiny pocketbook. So
that's what pocketbooks are.
Case quote.
Look at my giant pocketbook.
Gaping asshole, tiny pocket.
I get the biggest coin purse you've ever seen.
The phone would be sticking out of it. It was like a Prada or whatever,
Not if she took it at your house, John.
What?
At her house, sorry. If she took it at your apartment while you were passed out drunk on her mattress.
Holy shit, he's so stupid. He goes, did you steal my phone? She goes, no, look in my bag. It's not there. He's like, okay, well, there you go. And Vince is like, well, it could have been anywhere else.
I'm sorry I asked you that, honey. I had to be sure.
Yeah, right.
You're at her house, because he did talk about how the phone was dead, I think, when he got to her house. But now it's missing and stolen. But the only other person here in the house couldn't have possibly stolen it from me.
Right.
Yeah.
So why would you go through just her bag?
Well, yeah, she could have hid it somewhere. Yeah, of course. Anybody could hide anything.
Yeah.
But specifically the person you were in the room with would be the best guess, as opposed to anyone else in the world. That would be what we're looking at.
Right, yes.
Not going to put the phone that she swiped from you while you were passed out drunk on her mattress in her bag.
First of all, no, I don't think that she'll get mad at me. She wasn't exactly fucking sober either, Vince. And by the way, I sang her to sleep.
Unrelated.
Yeah, he's changing the subject here, isn't he?
But we're finally getting to the part that Cardiff asked about.
John
an hour ago.
I know this has been pointed out often, but we have to address this. John was so concerned about Kate Meany's drug problem that he reached out to her mom and said, you have to get this woman help. It's a serious problem she has. She needs to go to rehab immediately. Yeah. And then as soon as but what if she gets fucked up and then makes bad decisions with you? He's like, yeah, wow.
Well,
she'll figure it out eventually.
She has supervision then.
Right, yes. She's around people she can trust.
There are times I wrestle with Howard Stern and how he treated a lot of these whackpackers, because it's such a gray area where they were generating so much money. They were so popular, but they didn't get paid. And I'm not saying they should have. It's a gray area. There's a lot of weird things to say there. And what John represented when he was an intern, there's a lot of gray areas. He was famous, but he was also an intern, but he wasn't getting paid, but the station was making money. There are times, and I know this is not going to be popular, late at night, where I wrestle with whether he should be making money for the entertainment he's providing. And then shit like this comes up. And then you hear Artie talk about how, when I was sober, the only one who came to my house with a six-pack was John. The only one who gave me shit about being sober was John. Jackie Martling, recently it was uncovered, was like, I had to stop talking to John because every single person in my life was like, good for you, Jackie, you're sober. John made me feel bad about it, and I think made him relapse. The same thing here. This is why you don't get paid. It's because you treat people like this. If she's supposed to be sober, why is this okay?
Now, very well said. And I talked to Dan Filato about it when John was calling Dan the enabler. Meanwhile, Dan's living with Artie, trying to keep him sober, doing everything that he can to keep him sober and get him into rehabs and stuff. And like you said, John shows up with a case of beer. John is chugging beer on Artie's podcast in front of him.
You couldn't even get drunk beforehand. I mean, I'm sure you did, but you couldn't just support him. Maybe he has a problem with it. Maybe you don't. You can't be there for him. You have to shame him and make him feel bad. That's what these people expressed.
Yes.
It's really, it's horrible, horrible behavior, and it's repetitive, and he's not learning anything.
Well, John was being supportive because that case was for John. Artie wasn't entitled to any of those beers. John was going to drink all of them.
I wouldn't share with him if he was drinking.
Yeah.
But he can't stop talking about how Artie left the room and came back and left the room and came back. Maybe because your fucking six-pack was triggering. Maybe just seeing his old friend drunk was triggering. And he's like, I don't know if I can do this sober because we used to do it this way.
Yeah.
Either way, you're not bringing out the best in people.
No, definitely not. John is a selfish asshole. He's selfish like a 6-year-old is selfish. He doesn't realize that other people, he affects them in negative ways, and he doesn't give a fuck when you tell him that either.
And by the way, I sang her to sleep.
What song?
It's called Lead On.
Lead On?
I know that you're feeling kind of lonely. I know that there's trouble with you. There you go.
Lead on. This is a song he wrote for Oscar.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yes. It was on his old YouTube page.
Yeah.
He had a video for it and everything.
I remember that.
Lead on.
He sang her to sleep. Now, all of us are older gentlemen at this point, but we've all been in a place where we've hooked up with young ladies and fooled around or went all the way or whatever. Has anyone ever, and I'm not saying not just ladies, whatever your proclivity is, has anyone ever on the first date going back to the house sang their partner to sleep? It's just normal behavior in any world.
Carl, I've been with my wife for literally 20 years. I have never sang her to sleep. I've never even thought about it. Not even
talked her to sleep a few times.
All right, sure. I might put on some shows that I do to help her, finally get some rest. But I don't sing, Cardiff. That's the point.
This is crazy behavior.
Fucking potato.
And by the way, John, you only saw her as a friend you were trying to help.
Yeah.
And then suddenly, through fate and time and just coincidence, and she turned 25, suddenly you see her as a romantic interest. You say in this episode that if she wanted to get married, you would marry her in a heartbeat. And so your instinct is to sing her the song you used to sing your child to sleep. That's not cool, man.
One of the lines is, "You're my buddy Oscar."
Do you think he changed it though, Cardiff? I would hope he changed.
I'm your buddy, Katie.
I gotta find the song now. I know I have it recorded somewhere.
Okay. Oh, that's so gross. And again, he's doing this on his show. His kids could be watching this and seeing this. Oscar could be watching this and going, oh no, Dad, what are you doing?
I thought that was my song.
What are you doing right now?
I think he knows they're not watching.
Oh, I'm sure he does. So this goes on. I'm sure it'll be talked about by a lot of people. It's a very interesting episode. This all just happened today as we're recording this on Monday, the 23rd. And so he goes on to talk about it's possible that Kate wants to get back at you for what you did to her mom. And Jack goes, what do you mean? What are you talking about? He's like, well, remember when you called her mom and you told her you dumped all this stuff on her, that Kate had this huge problem. And then when she didn't do anything about it, you were tweeting about what a horrible mother she is and how she has a daughter who's going to die at the age of 27, who's a whore and has a drug problem, and it's all her fault. And John's like, oh, no. Kate and I talked about that. She doesn't care. She's not worried about that. And Vince is just like, well, she might have told you that, but it's very possible that she's still like annoyed with you about that, right? I think normal people would be pretty pissed off that you call their mom and say all these things and do all this stuff on the internet. John's like, I don't think so.
That was my theory over the weekend, was that actually this whole thing is to finally make Kate Meany's mom realize just how bad it is. John's like, look, she didn't listen, so I had to go and fuck her to see just how far her daughter had sunk. Obviously, She can't be trusted to make good judgments.
Yes, this is her rock bottom. Some people need to hit their rock bottom in order to get some. We thought Kate got help last time, but now we're finding out not so much.
I'm only here to help people.
Why else are we here? Than to push a rope and help people. All right, guys, we've been having too much fun. Let's bore everyone with a game show from Cardiff. Cardiff is back, baby, with a round of To Poke a Dabbler. It's the second show that we've done, or second game show we've done on the show today. It's exciting.
It's time for everyone's favorite new game show, To Poke a Dabbler.
Producer Chris, you won the earlier game. Pressure's on. You can go 2-0 today.
It's never been done.
It's never been done in the history of WATP.
What do you say, TV's Adam Bush? Are you ready to poke a dabbler? Or do you just want to keep on trashing John relentlessly on every show? Also, have you heard the news? Promo code COME. That promo code will get you 10% off your tickets to Hackamania at hackamania.com. Promo code COME.
Yeah, Ma, just take it off the hook, all right?
Oh boy, this one.
Sheet Citizen, thanks again. You also went on a 20-minute rant on how KB is helped person versus Matthew Perry joke. Yes, and guess what? Anybody who was watching me on Brennan's show, did I not say it to him? Did I or did I not? Did I not stand my ground, Sheeter? I said right on his show, Sheeter. I have the receipts. I said, Kevin, yeah, I mean, ha, ha, ha. I go, that's creative? I mean, like, that's supposed to be funny? I said it to him. Oh, I did. And he's going, well, I just think it's funny when junkies are. I go, yeah, Kev? Then that's like every rock star you like. No, it isn't. Yes, it is, Kev. Did I not say that? Because I'm pretty sure I did. In fact, I know I did. Take it off the hook, Mom. Just take it off the hook.
Classic bet.
Just answer it and leave it there.
During his one-man show, he has to have telephones all across the stage. Just ring. Fuck!
And Kate Meany keeps going around and stealing all of those phones.
He's so mad.
Again. Yeah, just hit talk and let it beep. I don't care. It'll stop. But yeah, I called them out for it. I don't back down, Sheet. But you see, you try and create this false narrative. Yeah, because you know what? You can't handle the truth. You give me correct by Rob Reiner.
He said it.
Jack Nicholson. Not to mention, you claim that you would never go on KB show again. That's why no one takes you seriously. Yes, I did say that. And I tweeted out, I vowed I would never do it. I did. But it's Christmas time. City sidewalks, dressed in holiday style. Hey, wait. I'm not allowed to change my mind. You've never changed your mind? You are that perfect, huh? You're that perfect. See, you never said, I'm never going to date that girl again. And then you end up dating her again? Really? You've never done that. You've never done that.
Almost exactly 1 year ago.
If that's true, then you must really.
What did John say next? Here are your choices. Number 1, stand on your ground. B, stick to your laurels. Next, be stubborn as an ox. 4, like digging in heels. And lastly, just take it off the hook. Lastly, 2, hackmania.com. Promo code COME.
Okay. Great choices. This just hit me. I'm going with 1, stand on your ground. That's what I think it is. TV's Adam Bush. What do you think?
I'm going to go with lastly.
Not lastly 2?
Take it off
Not
the
lastly 2, hackmania.com, promo code COME.
It's promo code WATP for 10% off. COME doesn't work. Don't even try. Christian, what do you think?
Let's see. Cardiff. I was going to ask Cardiff to blink to try to help me, but I guess stick to your laurels. B.
I like that one. Producer Chris.
I also went lastly, and
Take
not
it off the
lastly
hook.
too.
All right, let's find out.
You've never done that. Because if that's true, then you must really stick to your laurels.
Oh,
Christian.
Wow.
Well done. Bladcast. Coming up big right there.
Because there are a lot of times I say I'm not going to do something again, and I do. I'm never going to do cocaine again, Devin Alexander. This is just an analogy. I'm never going to do cocaine again. And then someone at a party has cocaine, you end up doing it. You've never done that shit?
What a strong conviction.
Oh, it's there. Okay.
Then someone offers me, and I'm like, all right, yeah. What I meant is I'm never going to pay for it again.
This is one of those rare parties in Southern California that someone happens to have cocaine in it. All right, I guess I'm doing it at this one.
Huh? I'm never going to drink tequila again. And then
Those 2 examples are Coke and tequila?
Yeah. And those are called alcoholics and liars. Yes. That's what we're talking about. None of this answered the question. He said, you said you wouldn't go on KB's show. You went back on his show. You're a liar. You spent 20 minutes explaining all these reasons why you went on. Doesn't change the fact that you're a liar and apparently addicted to tequila and cocaine.
To be fair, KB paid me in cocaine and tequila.
This is the best tasting tequila. It's expensive, $300 a bottle, and you take a shot. You never done that? You can't beat this.
Yeah, sometimes I say I should really get my shit together, and someone's like, hey, you want to do something that's really destructive? I'm like, yeah. That's literally what he just said. That was his only example for going back on his word.
Don't try, sheet. Every single time you try, you will lose. Vince will even attest to it because he tried. Devin Alexander, I'm sorry, but Vince tried, and I beat him. And he.
Every time Shitterson tries, he loses. He made the greatest documentary ever about the Dabblefurs. I would call that a victory.
Admitted I beat him.
That's all for this time. Promo code COME. Back next time to find out if you are man enough to poke a dabbler. Hackmania.com. Promo code COME. And Merry Christmas, everybody. Sit, Eugene, sit. Good dog.
It's nice
Merry
to not
Christmas,
see. It's nice to
everyone.
not see my brother. Thank you.
Yeah, I scrubbed it. Don't worry. I got the point. I tried to stop playing it, so I got
we
rid
hit
of
it
it.
enough times. I think we all understood what was going on. Fantastic game as always. Guys, you guys have hung with us a lot later than I was expecting, considering this is my third show of the day. I thought it was going to be a quick one. I bet you did too.
Oh, yeah.
Producer Chris. What it is not. Adam Bush, thank you so much for your generosity with your time. Always great to talk to you. Always great to hear your insights on things. People should check out PBC, Paid by Client, Season 3. It will be available in January on YouTube, and it's featuring people from The Office, people from SNL, and Adam has a role on that show. Even though John told me you haven't worked in 5 years, apparently you did actually have some work recently.
It's so funny because I'm on a show that features a lot of cameos from a lot of familiar faces. Some are older, some are young. I've mentioned John to the producers. I've talked to them about having him come on and how I feel that would personally promote the show to an audience that I enjoy. They have not said no, but John has to go out of his way to, just burn every bridge he has. He has to go out of his way to just call anyone that might help him in any way a liar and do everything he can to take them down for reasons he can't explain.
Just wait for it, Adam. Just wait for it. His latest threat to you.
I've gone into the witness protection program, and I feel much more comfortable here with my new family.
Adam, I'm glad that you've been through this enough so you know how John operates, but his latest threat to you, how did you take that?
Well, two things that were really interesting. One was, as somebody who is just a fan of this show and all of these shows, it was exciting and validating to see how your coverage of this was exactly accurate. I can tell you from someone who is a fan, who watches, who briefly became the story, that everything you report is accurate. And it's so funny because when I first appeared on John's show and I heard you and Levy and everyone talking about it, you guys all pointed this out. I said to John, I'm a dabbler and I'm aware of what I am opening myself up to by coming on this show. And you all laughed, and John nodded his head and said, Yup. And you all noted, John, he's talking about you. Yes. He's not talking about the risk of being here with you. And sure enough, however many months later, nothing has changed, but he wakes up one day and he decides, Vince gets to him enough, and he decides, I have to attack this person. And you're the only one trying to dox me, John. It's always been you. And Carl called it months ago. You're the danger. Do you understand that? You told me I could go on these shows. You said I'm ungrateful. I offered to help you with self-tapes. Yep. I offered to help you stop the rewind button, even though that hurt me and Cardiff and everyone right. Personally. I showed you. I took the time and I showed you. You did a test run. You turned off the rewind. You forgot how it went and then immediately didn't do it on the next show. But I showed you. I've done everything you asked. I've listened. I've been honest and upfront with you. And still, the only way you know how to end this is in doxing people, is in attacking them, is in trying to hurt probably the only people that are being nice to you. It's really quite remarkable. I had a friend once, I loaned them my car to move. I was the only one helping them. When I had to take the car back, they were so mad. They were like, so that's it? You're taking the car back? I'm like, I told you this is how it was going to go. And they're like, you're really not going to help me? I had to explain to them, I'm the only one helping you right now. And I'm the only one you're shitting on. That was 20 years ago. We're adults, John. Mm-hmm. Like, if you want to have a career in this business, maybe don't attack anyone you meet because of fear of inferiority.
And John's whole thing was that you were trashing him. And I pointed this out on, was it Point Dabble Point? We talked about it. I can't remember what we were talking, where I was. But we pointed out that Adam has never trashed John. Find an example. The only thing that Adam does is explain his perspective on what he's witnessing and his analysis of it. And honestly, if John watched him and took some notes down, he could fix his life.
He can't. I wish he could, though.
No, I know he can't. But you know what I mean, though? Like, any normal person who watched your analysis of them would go, oh, and this guy, everyone likes this guy and agrees with them? Shit. All right.
all of these shows are the ghost of Christmas past, future, and present, just for him to look at his life and learn something.
Holy shit.
But it is not.
We tied it back to Christmas
how lucky
beautifully.
would any of us be to have this in our life? Everyone going through all of it, explaining where we were right, where we were wrong. He can't do it. He's incapable of it. He had Pat Dixon on recently, and he was like, Pat, I'm so glad you're here. And he pulled up this super chat, and he was like, are they making fun of me? And Pat's like, I don't think so. He's like, are you sure? Take a look. And he's like, I really don't think so. He goes, well, that guy's normally making fun of me. John can't tell.
Yeah.
He can't tell. So he can only go by what Vince tells him. And unfortunately, John, he's not always steering you right. I know that's new information, but he's not always having your best interest.
He might always be trolling him, actually, it turns out.
Right. So when you said Adam can do whatever he wants, Adam can go on these shows, he's a free agent. And then 4 months later, you said that man betrayed me. And let me explain to you how. John, I don't want to I wish you the best. I want you to be happy. I can't turn it off. I know it makes me a bad dabbler, but there's something about the accent. It's where I'm from. It's something about just his family and the whole bit. I hear Lou Reed. It's the same voice. It reminds me of home. I'm sympathetic for reasons I shouldn't be. Don't take advantage of that.
Well said, Adam. And thank you again for being on the show. Check out Adam on Paid by Client. Christian Blatt, thank you so much for coming on the show, my friend, and getting this birthday tribute for me.
Oh, it was my pleasure. I had a lot of fun with it.
You went above and beyond. And as I mentioned before, Who Are These Broadcasters? It's available on its own podcast feed. You can sign up for that and get Who Are These Broadcasters every Wednesday and listen to podcasts. But also, there's a new episode they did on Sunday at 1 o'clock. If you go to Who Are These Podcasts YouTube channel, it's underneath the live tab.
Yeah, and we had some fun over there. We had the Rizzler was on the Fox Business Channel, and more Nikki Glazer telling jokes during Thursday Night Football. Eric Zane and I have fun, and that's all that really matters. And of course, my personal podcast, the Blackcast, BLADTCAST. We recently had Lucy Tightbox on. We talked about Silent Night, Deadly Night 2, and the one thing that's different than when they did it on subreddit surfing is we did it on YouTube and there were boobs there. So I think my version was probably better. And Lucy was also on an episode. I have this hot take, Carl. You haven't heard this before. I believe that Die Hard's a Christmas movie. I know this is insane, but we talked about it and we put it out for Christmas.
Fuck you! Okay. Very good, Christian. Thank you again for coming on. And Cardiff Electric, Dabbleverse.tv.
The place to be
is the place to be, and go to that Rumble page, hit subscribe, hit the like button, and watch Potato Soup. Do you have any episodes coming up before the end of the year?
We will be doing one Thursday night at some point, Boxing Day in some parts of the world it's called, but I believe in America where you all are, not me anymore because I left because of Trump.
Right.
It's just Thursday night. But yes, Thursday night there will be a Potato Soup. Members only, though. Members only. So patreon.com/Cardiff Electric for a special Thursday night Potato Soup. But there will be a special Christmas presentation on Dabbleverse.tv. Probably just my karaoke shit from last year.
Awesome. Thanks,
Promo
Cardiff.
code COME.
Yeah, promo code COME.
So great.
Macmedia.com, promo code COME.
So great to have you back, and thanks for the games. I am just going to let all of you guys get out of here. It's too much.
Merry Christmas.
We've been out for over 3 years, or 3 hours. 3 years. Feels like 3 years. Merry Christmas to everyone, guys. Thank you so much.
Merry Christmas.
What have we done today?
Jesus Christ.
We've done it all. You know what that means? It's time for everyone's favorite part of the show.
The teaser. Next week's teaser.
The teaser.
We'll be back with a live episode on Saturday for all the people who are on Patreon or our YouTube channel. You can watch it at 2 o'clock. It's free in the Discord if you want to just listen audio only. We're always in the Discord as well. There's a lot of people listening to this live in the Discord right now. And we have Worst of the Year wrap-up show where all the crew get together and we go through and pick which podcast affected us the most in 2024. And so that will be, like we usually do, a presentation from all of us on some of the craziest shit we found in 2024. So looking forward to that.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to play some voicemails, but guys, please get out of here.
Yeah.
It's too much.
I got to
you.
go put my kids to bed.
Yeah, please do.
All right. All right. Thank you,
He's on
guys.
the West Coast.
Merry
He's putting his
Christmas.
kids to bed. Why am I still up?
Well, you might as well just keep going until it actually turns into Christmas Eve, Carl. It's close enough.
I
All
might
right.
as well.
Merry Christmas.
See you,
everybody.
buddy.
Dude, I have to tap out.
I know.
gotta get up early, man.
I totally understand. Please get out of here. But thank you, producer Chris. I could tell you were getting angsty over there. All right. We got some voicemails. I'm just going to play them quickly so we can find out what people are saying to us. I talk to you, and you can talk to us as well.
Carl Deluxe, man, great show Saturday. Dabbleverse is on fire. I did not know it was interesting. Trucker Andy is like the Tony Montana of the Dabbleverse. That was wild. I was thinking, like, say the line, say the line. I was waiting for him to say it, like, say hello to my little friend. Man, he kills it with the cocaine. Peace.
Okay, if you say so. I'll go along with that.
Also, Line of the Year nominee, producer Chris, with "There's my package from Acme for John." That was a classic.
Yes. He's definitely Wile E. Coyote at this point.
In 380 episodes, I have gone along with you. I've never been pissed at a pick, but this week, I'm mad at you, Carl. Fuck you.
All right. It happens. There's some annoying ones from time to time. I get it.
Just to clarify, I hated the episode, or that podcast. No, I was mad on their behalf. Fuck you again. Bye.
Petty Crimes podcast, I assume we're talking about. That one was an extra annoying one for sure.
Corny bro. That might be you at this point, Lady K. I gotta admit, I came into the Dabbleverse through you, through the creep off, but oh, your shit is so stale right now.
What?
You really, I mean, you got Blind Mike, who's so charming and doing the Blind Mike Project and Why Are You Laughing, and they're both great shows.
Agreed.
You got Elva Reblay and Tukey, who, I mean, let's face it, has Joey C. calling Big Black the N-word every week.
Okay, that was interesting.
You need something. I don't know what that spark is you're missing, Carl, but God, I believe in you to find it. Thank you, fuck you, bye.
Thank you. 2025 is going to be a big year for WATP. I appreciate you sticking with us.
Hey, Carl, Ronnie in Syracuse. So, by the way, love the show. Listening to the Loveline episode, and I noticed at the beginning you did your usual intro, and you introduced David Collins and let him respond and say thanks for being here or whatever he said. And you said, oh, and by the way, producer Chris is here, and then you just kept on talking and didn't let Chris give his customary greeting,
Right.
as you do with all of your guests all the time, including Chris.
Fuck that guy.
So something happened there. You gave Chris the old snubberino. I'm just saying. Also, is it possible?
Let me pause it real quick. I used to not acknowledge him at all. I was always like, I'm being very rude to my friend Chris, who's in here every show. I should probably acknowledge that he's in the studio with us. So he's lucky I even acknowledge his existence, is my point.
I'm just saying. Also, is it possible that John's lip smacking has taken a back seat to the more annoying Opie with all day long? Holy crap.
Yes.
I mean, Gary is railing against John's lip smacking, and I'm with him. But Opie's all day long is just bizarre. That's all I got. Don't call me back.
It's almost like he's trying to be annoying. I think it's the same with John with the lip smacking. They're trying to be annoying. You're like, yeah, it's annoying. Good job. Nailed it.
What's up, WATP? All I gotta say is, God damn, this is the first time I've had to fast forward through your main show because the people on the show you were reviewing was so damn corny and shitty. No wonder this bitch writes for SNL.
Yep.
Keep up the good show. Love it. I'm out.
Yeah, Petty Crimes was a tough one. We probably didn't need that many clips to point out how shitty it was.
Hey, Gary, I'm starting to feel like Charlie Brown trying to kick the football. Tell me, is John really going to leave the Dabbleverse at the end of the year?
Okay, Judy, before I answer, I'm going to put my hand on a stack of Bibles. Hold on. Okay. I believe that Stuttering John is a man of his word and he will be quitting the Dabbleverse permanently by December 31st. Check that. He'll last no more than 7 days. He'll be back in full force on the Dabbleverse, proclaiming he's the king of the Dabbleverse and the Duke of the Dabbleverse within 7 days of quitting. That's a fact, Jack.
Could be.
Rock and rolla.
I can't even argue with you, Gary. It sounds very plausible based on recent history.
Hey, all my fellow gays and bisexual. Hey, y'all know that I love the podcast, but it's fucked up when trans people and some gay people want or expect you to know how they want to be addressed.
Right.
Like I said, I date women, I date men. And I don't fucking know what you want to be addressed as, but you know what? Why don't you fucking tell me so I don't fucking offend you? And guess what? I might not want to call you that. I'm bisexual, I'm gay, whatever you want to call me. But maybe I just want to go with sir and yes. And I understand some people identify and want to be identified a certain way. That's okay, too. That's America. You can ask for that.
Sir, you call into the show all the time, and I appreciate that. What does that have to do with WATP? I'm confused on why you're telling me all of this.
But you can't demand it and expect it.
Right.
That's the difference. And like I said, I love this show, and we ain't always in agreement. But you know what? Humans are humans. And if something bothers you, why don't you just simply say it? And if they don't want to serve you food, they'll tell you to go away. If not, fuck you, and fuck you. Don't forget that.
Okay. I feel like you just needed to get that off your chest for some reason.
Once again, the bisexuals light in
Okay.
to correct you. The reason Stuttering John was using, I mean not Stuttering John, but blind fucking Mike over here was using that term about horse buckets. One of his other shows, he had said it, and he was trying to say like buckets of, and he said something about horses, and he made fun of it, and a lot of us listened to that and picked up on the horse buckets thing, but it was in reference to something he misspoke about. But anyways, just to give you an update before Christmas, bisexual cum is only half as slippery as regular gay cum.
I knew that.
I wanted to give that update to Ace Frehley because, you know, he was right. He was right about the gay cum thing. Anyways, Merry fucking Christmas, you shitheads.
All right. Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas to all the dabblers and the cuzzaroos out there. Thank you all for another fantastic year on WATP. If you're watching this on Christmas night, Merry Christmas. I hope you had a fantastic holiday, and we'll see you again on the next show.
Okay, bye. Man, that was a good episode. That was a good episode. I enjoyed that.
A plane has hit. I rewatch iCarly.
Boom. Fuck his mom.
Boom.
Boom. Are we done here? I think we are.
Carl, I love you. Go fuck yourselves. Have a good week.
That was a great episode.
That was really great. Okay, bye.